my opinion, Hurricane Ida was a blessing in disguise for the Saints.
Packers fans are idiots.
George Kittle loves to get yards, especially after the catch.
Welcome back to Certified Beef and the third annual record predictions. This on the docket, we have the guys from the Happiest Podcast on Earth, Andrew and Jarrett.
Let's go.
We also have Matt from Fowled Out Podcast.
What's up?
In the midst of doing this record predictions, Andrew decided to do the wings now, but
I think this is how it should be.
Fair. But the fact that this is gonna be a longer episode, that's where I feel like it could be. This is where the punishment even ramps up even more. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. This definitely probably going forward. We'll probably do the oh my gosh, the punishment on the next record predictions. I feel like that's only right, as Andrew said. But yeah, he's gonna be going through it, and you guys will be able to see his facial expressions through this entire thing. Yeah, so this will be fun. Brandon, do you have like an order you want to go in of some sort, or do you just kind of want me to rip it and go?
We can rip it and go. I got my nice little spreadsheet set up here to write down everybody's wins and losses for each team. So then it'll total up the amount of wins, amount of losses, and then at the end of the year, I can go back in and get it all formulated out so that we can see who was the farthest off. We can do whatever order, but like let's start with where we always do, the AFC North. Let's do it.
I agree. All right, we'll start off with the division winners, the Cincinnati Bengals. Andrew, we'll kick it to you first. Let's get a bite of a wing first.
I just don't think we should be kicking it to me first because I'm still in the middle of doing it. I was in the middle of doing it when Brandon emailed me.
My gosh.
So I say go to someone else. Or I tell you what, while we're waiting and I'm doing this, I will take my first bite of wing.
Are those
I feel like throughout the episode,
are those boneless or traditional?
Traditional.
Oh, what a ballsy move.
Don't touch your face.
Oh my god.
I certainly couldn't possibly impair your judgment at any point in time.
Do you like hot food? Oh, well, this is a little hotter. It hits you very fast.
Yeah, you're in trouble. You are in trouble.
See, I feel like we should have waited to
hang on.
Make sure you're ready.
He says, hang on.
We should have made sure you're ready to because now you're not in clear mind and you're trying to make record predictions for next year's punishment.
I mean, if you don't want to do this next year, this is the best idea for everybody but him.
I like this.
Yeah, you could also, if you want to, you could just forfeit next year, and we could just watch you suffer if you want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm good. Oh my god.
Oh, he's touching his face.
No, it's my left hand.
I know it is.
Oh.
How many wings did you get? I'm just curious.
6.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
I remember I ordered like 10 boneless wings, and I swear they gave me like 15. And everyone just told me to keep eating them. It was brutal.
Oh my god.
Did you dip it in ranch?
I did.
Okay, that's good. That's valid.
I absolutely did.
All right, we'll give Andrew some time here. Matt, why don't you kick us off here?
All right, starting off with a bang. I got the Bengals at 12-5. When in doubt, do not bet against Joey B. I do have a little bit of concern about their defense, having lost both of their safeties, who are very good at what they do. Yeah. But Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow lock it in.
All right.
That's all right. I like that.
Good pick. I have the Bengals going 13-4. Like Matt said, can't bet against Joe Burrow. A little nervous. Like I know they say he's going to be ready for week 1, but how that leg injury is going to affect him going forward. Yes, losing Von Bell and Jesse Bates is going to be a big deal, but then they also shored up the offensive line by adding Orlando Brown Jr. So maybe that'll help them out more than what they lost on defense.
Yeah, I have the same record as Brandon. Yeah, they did lose Von Bell, and like you guys said, they Von Bell and Jesse Bates, but they do have a chance for Dax Hill to jump in that role, which they did draft him first round last year, or was it second? It might have been second round.
Early second, I think. Yeah,
but he gets a chance to star in a role. And we saw him a little bit last year. He was making plays, but you got a guy like that, and that's just a good team, well coached. I'm not really worried about a defense when you've got defense coordinator Lou and Ramon. So the Bengals they're gonna do their thing.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I have the Bengals and Ravens tied at 12-5, and I think the Ravens are actually taking down the division. So I just think with Lamar back on track, doesn't have to worry about
Good God, guys, this doesn't stop.
Oh, dude, Mike, don't interrupt me while you're just choking out on Buffalo Wild. You can just see your face just struggling right now.
The thing is, it doesn't last super long, and then it hits you again.
It just hits you in waves. No, I love it. But yeah, Ravens. Definitely, I think 12-5. They definitely gave Lamar just a shit ton of weapons. So I just think with Odell Beckham, I mean, Bateman was pretty solid. They have Dobbins just healthy. So I think they're just weapons, and defense is always it's a thing in Baltimore. It's never horrible. So if their defense could even just stay decent, I think they're going to be a problem. And the whole thing with Joey B, I know it's not as serious as we originally thought, but his little injury, you never know. I get a little nervous with that. So I'm gonna be a little cautious with that one. And yeah, I'm going Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, you can't forget to mention Nelson Aguilar, big weapon.
Oh yeah.
Addition for the Ravens. Speaking of the Ravens, I got them going 11-6.
Hold up. Andrew hasn't given his Bengals prediction yet.
He probably hasn't finished, so that's why I'm just gonna go. We can get his later.
I'll just go through the entire division at the end.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, they got Zay or
Flowers.
Yeah. So that and Mark Andrews, my gosh.
Yeah, I think they'll be a solid team.
Yeah.
Solid team. There's nothing. It's a good coach.
Yeah.
Can't complain about the Baltimore Ravens. They'll definitely be a playoff team.
Andrews.
I'm okay. God, this is just the worst.
All right. I have the Ravens also going 12-5. Obviously, with what I said for the Bengals, I don't have them win the division, but they are still in the playoffs. I think, I don't know, the Ravens, it should be a very tight division this year between the two, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually have the Steelers at 11-6, so I feel I feel like they're going to be good now with Pickett having a year under his belt. Again, weapons. They have a ton of weapons. Defense is always solid core. So those three teams, I have the Browns just crapping the bed. They're not going to do well. So I have them being worse than last year. But overall, I mean, I think those three teams are just going to beat up on each other a little bit and then, share some losses with one another. But yeah, I think that's a stacked division minus the Browns, even though they got Deshaun.
Yeah, I have the Ravens at 11-6 as well. I like that they finally moved on from Greg Roman and are moving to a little bit more of a pass-centric offense. And they did do their best to get him some weapons. For me, where I'm kind of pumping the brakes on them being at the same level as the Bengals is, for the love of God, they are always snake bitten by injuries. Mm-hmm. Always. It's going to be an issue at some point.
Yeah. Andrew Jarrett mentioned the Browns and the Steelers. I am on the other end of the Browns spectrum. I think they're going to be good. I think they might have the most talented roster in the AFC North. Wow. I think this AFC North is going to be the best division in football. Between all three of those teams after the Bengals, I have them all going 11-6.
Oh,
all
yes.
three of them.
Wow!
Yeah, wow!
Holy cow! Is that even possible?
We're on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. Jorge Pickens, he's going to be a monster this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just like what the Steelers do. Plus, like, you can't not have them go over 500. So for them to be 11-6 is not crazy. Mike Tomlin, that defense is going to be doing its thing. If TJ Watt is healthy, this team is easily going to go 10-7. I think with him on the field, they're just a different team. So I think 11-6 is not a question. Like I said, the Browns, I think they have the most talented roster in the AFC North. It also depends on Deshaun Watson. This could be one of those record predictions for me where this could fuck me over next year when I'm off by like 8 wins, because I definitely have thought about it that the Browns could just shit the bed like Jarrett said. But yeah, no, that it's going to be a risky thing. But I think that this team just has enough talent around for them to be good.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking. I have them and the Steelers both at 9 and 8, a little bit more tempered because the Steelers always seem, unless they're like a really good team, like really good Steelers team, they always seem to hang around 500. That's kind of what they did last year. Kenny Pickett's going to get better. Like, it's just going to be another building year for that team. But the Browns, like, I can definitely see where you're coming from, Jack, where they are one of the most talented teams in the AFC. But they are the Browns. They are one of the cursed franchises, and it's hard to get over that. And so I think they're going to lose some games that they should definitely win, and that's going to contribute to them missing the playoffs.
I got the Steelers at 11-6 as well, for some of the reasons that were already stated. Right. I think if TJ Watt is healthy, that defense is probably the best defense in football last year. And they added some guys from this draft that I absolutely fucking love. Keanu Benton is one of them. And then George Pickens, I think, this year's going to be his coming out party. He's talented enough where he could have been drafted significantly earlier in that draft class. He just hadn't played in forever. As for the Browns, I have them at 7 and 10. Ooh. I am entirely out on Deshaun Watson. That is why I think they will lose games. It is not the talent on that roster. Also,
you think he's done. That's it.
People keep forgetting that he won 4 games in his last full season as a starter.
That team was awful, though. I will point that out. He played out of his mind.
And you know
JJ Watt apologized to him for playing so bad.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to hear that shit, because I watched Matt Stafford drag some awful rosters to 7 and 8 wins.
Yeah.
But you didn't have a generational wide receiver.
I think Deshaun Watson played out of his mind. That year. 4 wins is like, he would have probably, if he would have played like average, he would have been like 2 wins maybe.
I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but like, he cannot lead a team, and that's why I'm out on him.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, because I said like it could be a dumpster fire, but I just think that he's going to rebound. Because I also think that their style of offense can help him a lot to
honestly
pressure.
I think Deshaun Watson is a complete and utter conflict of the way their offense has been set up to function anyways. He wants to be back in the shotgun, and you want to be under center and running downhill with Nick Chubb.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of why they sucked so bad even after he came back.
I do also want to point out that George Pickens is not more talented than Justin Jefferson, and Ryan Clark is by far one of the most biased and idiotic people I've ever seen on fucking sports media.
Yeah, no, anyone taking shots at Justin Jefferson is a fucking idiot.
That's ridiculous.
So we've been wait, no, we got Jared. Did you say your Browns prediction yet?
Yeah, that was bad. 5 and 12.
5 and 12. All right.
Did you take another bite yet? I'm just curious.
No, I haven't. I'm an ass.
Oh wow, that's a
Clean that sucker.
That was a good bite. No, it does not have to.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing it.
Oh
now.
my, he's doing it. Ooh. No. Oh, he's struggling to get it down.
The second one's easier.
And wings sound so good though.
They do.
These aren't good wings. They don't taste good.
Yeah, I need
Well,
garlic
because they're
parm.
cold.
I need garlic parm.
Garlic farm guy.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I
Half
understand.
garlic
why you
parm,
don't-
half
I just
honey
don't think they-
barbecue.
Honey barbecue's where it's at.
Yeah.
I just don't think
Oh,
they actually like taste good.
No, they taste horrible. It's awful taste.
Ugh.
That's the thing that sucks about hot wings is like you like buffalo wings to me are just dog shit. Can't
Buffalo wings I can enjoy. I
still
don't
think they
enjoy
taste
this.
good.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. I'm enjoying this. Just and now I get to see what it's like to be on the other side of
My eyes.
That's one thing that was weird is my eyes just weren't running. It was my nose that wouldn't stop.
I don't. That my nose is actually okay.
All right, Andrew, you ready?
I'm ready. All right. I have got the Bengals winning the division at 12-4.
Okay, that's like 16
12-4.
games.
Well, they did go 12-4
Wait.
last year, I think, didn't they?
Because the DeMar Hamlin game.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
So
but
who's
again-
so who's dying on the field?
Yeah.
Wait, did I miss
The
one?
Bengals or the
I must have not picked him on one. Bye. That's been picked. It was the last week. I see.
I'm going with Joe Mixon.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Our Deadpool.
I got him going 13-4,
13 and 4. Okay.
and I have the Ravens at 11-5.
So
Actually,
someone
we're gonna go
died on
12.
their team too.
Wait, did I just not pick the last week?
It's starting to seem
What
like that.
catastrophe
world?
happened? Maybe they were playing each other. That was the
No. Okay, sorry. I have them going 13-4.
you just jumped.
Sorry,
You just jumped.
12-5?
12-5.
Okay.
Sorry, I could not count. These wings are getting me, man. This is awful.
Classic.
I hit the wrong button. That's why. Yes, I have them going 12-5, finishing second. I have the Steelers going 9-8, and just because Mike Tomlin, I think the last time they had a 500 season was
Before him.
Yeah.
and
So
then
good.
I'm
So
gonna
good.
go the Browns 6-11.
6-11. All right.
Love it.
I think they steal a couple, but I think they just kind of shake things up. But I also agree. I do think this is probably the toughest division.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
Yeah, I think in a different division, the Browns could maybe steal a few more games, but
Put them in the
I mean,
AFC South.
they're going up against like absolute killers.
Yeah.
I think the
100%.
Browns would win the NFC South.
Probably.
No, I don't think so. I really just don't.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
AFC East next.
Fights. Start off with the Buffalo Bills. Andrew, do you have this ready, or did you only do it by
Oh,
division?
I've got everybody.
All right.
All right.
Let's
So
go.
Buffalo
First
Bills.
place Buffalo Bills.
First place Buffalo Bills. 13-4. I got a lot of 13-4s. I don't see many teams scraping by and getting 14 wins. I just think that's probably a little too difficult, especially with a lot of these better teams playing in those neutral site games in London and Germany this year. I just think that's one of those things that could be anybody's game. So I think that's pretty much the best record there is. On mine is 13-4. But yeah, obviously, it's the Bills and they're good. And I think James Cook with another year of development is really going to help their run game.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback. I also think it's the Bills. I think this might have the most teams that are just like complete wild cards for me that could be good, could be bad. I don't know. But I think the Bills are just the most consistent right now. I love Bill Burr as their coach. Just love it.
Oh,
Love Bill Burr. But no, great coaching. Diggs will always have a spot in my heart. Just a very talented, just roster all around, defense and offense. There's not much to say. They haven't really done much to, improve or get worse. It's just a very good, consistent roster that they have this year too. And Josh Allen. I mean, that's he's just good. So, I have them going 12-5, winning the division as well. So they did lose a couple more games than last year. I think this division's going to get a little bit tighter.
So I went a little lower than both of you guys. I went 11-6. I just think that this division has gotten a little bit stronger this year. I see this as another top division in the entire league. Mostly besides, I think it could honestly be anyone's division besides the Patriots, I think. 11-6. The Bills are also they feel to me like they start off the year kind of slow each year, because wasn't 2 years ago they lost to the Steelers with old ass Big Ben playing at home. I could see them losing a couple more games this year, and maybe it's because of a slow start, or maybe it's just because the division around them has gotten a lot better, and their schedule is not the easiest either.
Yeah. I mean, Bills, they're just a fucking juggernaut. 14-3. I think they're gonna tear it up this year. I am a big Josh Allen guy, and I will say this: people need to stop ripping on this dude for throwing 14 interceptions last year. I know they say that he had the most turnovers. I don't really think strip sacks should be the biggest thing for turnovers. Unless he's fumbling when he's rushing. A lot of times strip sacks have to do with the tackles and stuff like that. But Patrick Mahomes is people. He got his dick sucked all year last year. He had 12 interceptions, 2 less than Josh Allen. So this whole thing that Josh Allen is not capable of being a top echelon quarterback in the league anymore needs to stop. He's just as good, if not better, in some cases than these guys. And I think he's going to prove it this year and shut up all the fucking haters. So yeah. 14-3.
I think most of the best quarterbacks they make those mistakes, but a majority of those that's why they're good, is because most of the time they make plays on those, and then every now and then they might misthrow just a teeny bit and make a bad mistake. But dude's a beast.
Yeah, I've got them at 11-6. In part because I do need to see Josh Allen stop playing so much hero ball. When Bills fans know there's 2 Josh Allens, there's good Josh and there's bad Josh. And bad Josh, it's sometimes he makes those crazy plays, but what happens is he extends too long, holds on to the ball too long, chucks it somewhere he shouldn't go. It happens. But good Josh is the best player in football, full stop. He reaches heights that even Mahomes can't reach because of the physical things his body can do. No one else in the NFL can do right now. That being said, I have some concerns about some of the deficiencies on their roster that the way they address them aren't necessarily the way I would have liked to see them addressed, mostly on the lines. Now the way they address them, maybe it works out better than I expect. But definitely I wanted to see a bit more depth on the defensive line heading into this year, where they kind of got destroyed in the playoffs there. So that I could see being a little bit of a mitigating factor for them this year. But I mean, they're still the safest bet in this division.
Fair enough. Next we move on to South Beach, the Miami Dolphins.
I'll kick it off.
Go for it.
I think this is going to be the shocker that they are going down. I don't think they're going to be as good as everybody thinks, and I still, Tua is broken. He's made of glass. His head is just jello at this point. So I don't trust Tua being healthy all season. I really don't. They do have some talent. I'm excited to see. I think Fangio this is where he went for defensive coordinator, which is good. He's a good defensive coordinator kind of guy, but I don't know. I just see that between the Bills and Jets, especially, just improving. I feel like the Jets have to be improving. We'll talk about them in a bit, but that division, and I don't know. They had a lot of one-score games last year. I think I saw that. I think could just not go in their favor this time. So I don't know if they're as good as everybody thinks they are, especially if Tua stays healthy. Absolutely, they could be a threat. They do always play the Bills tough, if they're healthy and everything. But yeah, I'm Dolphins 6-11. I have them, so I have them. They're dropping. They're dropping a few games from last year. So
you don't trust Mike White to come in and light it up after Tua gets injured?
Nope, not at all. I'm good with that. So maybe Brady comes out of retirement and goes to Miami.
You joke, but like Adam and I had a legitimate conversation about that being his actual nightmare.
Oh, really?
And like, that's the whole reason they didn't have a first round pick, was because they were tampering with him.
That's a good point. That's a great point. I mean, who knows if they're like in the playoff hunt and then Tua goes down? I mean, who knows? You never know what could happen.
Yeah.
I think Brady's more than happy to come to like a playoff.
You just call in Phillip Rivers like the 49ers were going to do.
Yeah.
I've got them at 11-6.
Ooh.
So Adam and I did win ranges for our teams instead of just predicting records. They had the widest range for me. Yeah. Like, I had them as low as 6 because you don't know how many games Tua's going to play. I've got to believe they're going to do everything they can to keep him on his feet this year. But this is the most talented team in the division. And I think adding Vic Fangio to that coaching is going to be huge for them. I think it might actually get them some wins in games while Tua's out, just because, hey, if you can pitch a shutout, then it don't take much.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I got them one lower at 10-7. Like it does all depend on how much Tua plays, but you got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, like that's a killer wide receiver core. Then you also have, like, yes, Mike Gesicki did depart, but it's not like he was a huge weapon for them anyways. And then you got another year of Bradley Chubb. You brought in Jalen Ramsey. You brought back Mostert and Jeff Wilson. Like, it's hard to see them going as low as 6-11. But I guess if they can't keep them upright, if they can't keep Tua upright, then it doesn't matter too much, unless Mike White somehow returns to his 22 form. Then maybe they're doing something. But 10-7 for me.
I think Ramsey's out for a bit, right?
Yes. Ramsey will be
December.
out until probably December.
That's right.
That kind of factored into mine too.
Yeah.
Is Armstead out for a little bit too, or is he's good to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they make the playoffs, getting Ramsey back for a playoff run is going to be huge.
Huge, yeah.
Because he can play outside and inside.
Even still, without Ramsey though, you still got Xavier Howard. Like, that's not a
yeah,
bad too.
Yeah,
they have the most overrated corner duo. They're so washed, both of them. That's a different story. But I also agree with Brandon. 10-7. I also think that the Dolphins would be 10 times worse. I think they'd be about what Jared says they are at 6-11 if they didn't have their stadium designed that way.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's like reasons why they win a lot of games at home. So also I think they lose a lot more games.
It's the
Andrew
best
and I
home field
went.
advantage in all of football.
We did. We
Andrew
were in
and I
the
went.
shade.
We said something about that too. We were like, man, that sucks. Our
When
Vikings.
we-
My Vikings are like just roasting.
Yeah.
in
it's
this
just
one.
it's just
we-
so fucking dumb.
we
That-
looked-
like that just pissed
Oh,
me.
it's
They showed
intentional.
it. The
Oh, I know it
home
is, but
side,
it's so dumb.
the home side sideline, I think
It
was
30 degrees.
92.
Yeah, and then the other side was like
Or 80. It was
120.
like 89, and it was like 105 on the Vikings sideline.
Yeah, it's stupid.
If I was a fan, I would refuse to go and sit on that side of the stadium. And that the thing that sucks is that there's not a bad seat in that stadium at all.
I've heard they struggle to sell out that stadium too.
They do.
I mean, I would
It
hate
was
to be on that
full.
one side. I mean,
I mean, it
Vikings
was-
fans do travel pretty well. Like,
Yeah.
I would
we
say
had a
that-
lot of Vikings fans at that game.
and I would say that stadium was full. But it was
Yeah.
funny because I was there the week before for University of Miami. That
Oh, yeah,
one
they struggle
does
to
not
sell
sell out.
They
Yeah.
I mean, it
struggle to
was
sell out.
dead.
They're still mourning the
yeah.
loss of the Orange Bowl.
The thing about selling out in Miami is that people are in Miami. There's so many other things to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
But it's not even in Miami.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
like
right.
it's like
outside.
35 minutes from downtown.
Jesus.
It's Peach Gardens or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I got them going 11-6. I think
11-6.
if Tua stays healthy, I don't think you can really count on injuries to happen. I think they go 11-6. I know I'm not saying that he will just because he's yet to do so. But I mean, there for a while, Christian McCaffrey was hurt for like 3 out of 4 years. But if he stays healthy, I mean, you can't deny he's still the best running back in the league.
Well, it still is now.
That's what I'm saying. It's just you just can't bank on that.
Tua is the best quarterback in the NFL.
No, what I'm saying is when they actually have someone to throw the ball besides Sky, or what was his name?
Mike White.
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Skylar
Mm.
Like-
Tyler Thompson.
I mean
Dude, he almost
that
beat the
Vikings
Bills.
game was hard to watch.
Don't hate
Oh,
on
yeah,
Teddy
trust me.
Bridgewater.
No, that was the moment seeing
Teddy
him
Two
live.
Gloves.
How bad he was. I was like, Bridgewater's gone, man.
He's terrible.
And now the Lions fans, are like, dude, why is Teddy so bad? I go, I told you, he's not good. He's not good.
Yeah,
anymore.
but Teddy's not even their starter.
well, no, he's backup, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Concussions
All right.
are a little bit different of a
Yeah.
story too. Than
Yeah.
I feel like concussions, you're running into a whole different.
Yeah.
One more, he's got to be done. He's got to.
Yeah. Or definitely a decision to be made.
Yeah.
All right. Now we move on to definitely the most talked about team in the NFL, the New York Football Jets.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Why unfortunately?
You know, I'll
That-
start off.
people need to stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
You know, I will
Hard
talk about
Knocks.
Aaron Rodgers. I love that guy so much. I'm glad to see him thriving in New York. Glad to see that he's happy. I'm happy for him. But I mean, I do think they're gonna have some struggles. But you know, Aaron Rodgers, he'll have a rebound year. I mean, good for him. He needed to get to a good situation. I'm happy that he made his way to New York. He's thriving there. I just love to see it. You know, I've always wanted the
Guys,
best
I'll be
for
back.
him.
I gotta go burp or something.
You could have just left. You could have just done it. instead of telling us.
Premium content.
Yeah, thanks. Tell us
Yeah.
what's going on next.
Yeah, no. I've always wanted the best for him. So, but the Jets are going to go 10-7. I think
10-7.
they'll be good, but I don't think they're going to reach the ceiling that people think they're going to. And I think that they could finish worse than this. But I think their schedule favors enough to where they're going to win a decent amount of games.
Yeah,
No.
I've got 10-7. I might as well just jump in now. I agree with you 100%. I think I actually do. I've always liked Aaron Rodgers. I just hated him playing him because he's just so good and he torched us a lot. So now that he's outside the division, I do like it. It's really funny to watch Hard Knocks and just in front of the quarterback crew that they had from last year and just basically, like you said, they were just all sucking his dick, basically, just how good he is. But it's just funny to me, like Zach Wilson's like in the same room and Garrett Wilson's like, dude, I've never seen anyone even come close to throwing like Rodgers. And even like the coach, even like the head coach, like Sala or whatever, was like, dude, this is obviously a whole new year because we actually have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Zach Wilson's right there, man. Like,
Dude, did y'all see his run the other day?
It's great. Oh, it's
Zach
fun.
Wilson,
And-
yeah, it was
yeah.
it was electric.
That was
Yeah.
shifty.
It was cool, but I think 10-7, I love it. I think he does bring a whole new element to the game. Their team it's pretty stacked. Like they've gotten a good young core offense with Wilson, Brees. You got Dalvin there now, which is going to be fun to see them two partner up. And then they brought back, it's just so funny too, like Lazard, and I think Cobb is back there now too. So like Aaron Rodgers has his old weapons he's comfortable with, and they're not going to be great every game, but like it's, Cobb's going to have that 1 or 2 games of like 2 or 3 touchdowns, and they just, it always happens. But
they did just lose Gabe Davis though.
Oh yeah, well that's fine.
He
10-7
today.
I think 10-7. A-Rod is going to bring a whole different.
I think you mean Corey Davis.
Corey Davis was not even going to play.
Yeah.
He was probably going to get cut.
Yeah,
that's why he retired. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but 10-7, I like it. They're going to improve.
My bad. I have them going 9-8.
Okay.
I think that is the most you're going to get out of it. They do have 2 solid running backs. But I don't know. I know Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs 2 and 3 years ago.
One was a fucking fraud.
That I just don't see it. I mean, I have them going 2 and 4 in the division.
I think that's fair, actually.
Like I just don't see it being. I don't see him being like the answered prayer that they think it is. I think if anything, this will be really good for them moving forward, because I think Zach Wilson can learn a lot from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things that I don't think this team is going to be great, but I do think for the future it's very beneficiary. But I don't see them. I mean, what was their record last year?
Man, they were like 7-10.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can see them picking up 2 more games out of this. That's about it.
I still think quarterback though is like holding them. I do think their quarterback class or room was just absolutely dreadful.
Oh,
they have such a good young core from both sides of the ball. And,
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, so I have them at 10-7, mostly on the back of their defense. I am not as optimistic about like their offense being great because of adding Rodgers. But like looking at how good their defense is, I can't see it being enough. Can't see it not being enough for them to win double-digit games, but I think they're missing the playoffs still.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose all the tiebreakers against the hard teams. Aaron Rodgers is not gonna beat up on like the NFC North or the AFC North, or like I also think he's gonna really struggle against the Patriots. I think Bill Belichick is gonna cook up some nasty game plans.
I can see that.
The second he gets popped in the mouth a couple times early in the game, he's gonna turtle up.
And for the Patriots, you also got Judon coming off the edge, and there's been questions about the Jets' offensive line. That's a good point.
Yeah, and God, Kyle Duggar is just a monster.
I have the Jets, the highest win total out of all of us at 11-6. I feel like the Jets are just going to play up to Rodgers this year. Like they are the Jets. They are a team that perennially lets down people. But I think this year there's just so much excitement around them that they're going to play up. Like you got one of the best interior defensive linemen in the entire league in Quinn Williams. Like CJ Mosley had a bounce back year last year. You got Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed on the outside. Like their defense is incredible. And then their offense, like has been mentioned many times here, great young core, Brees Hall. And then you also add in Dalvin Cook, who is like starting to decline, but he's still a top tier running back type. It's hard to bet against them at this point. At least for me, it is.
Hey, if they do play up to Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be mid because he was absolutely mid last year. I will say this about the Jets: if he returns to his fraudulent 2021 MVP season, they should win the Super Bowl.
Wow. Their
defense is that good.
They're good. I do think they're just overall team is very freaking good.
I do think they're going to need Dalvin Cook to step up early, because you look at when Breece Hall had that injury last year, he's probably not going to look like himself until at least November. Those guys don't typically regain that explosion until about 12 months out.
Got Dalvin.
All right, I'm gonna move into the Patriots. This is team. I'm just gonna quickly say it. 7-10. This team is just. I don't know what direction this team is going, but yeah, 7-10, kind of mid.
Yeah, 6-11. I think they're going down a couple spots this year. It is their offseason was kind of chaotic. Nothing in the draft really, which is typical for them. But when it comes to I think they picked up Gesicki, which will be kind of fun to see him going off against the Pats. But they lost a couple wide receivers. They picked up Schuster, I think.
Yep.
Which should be a little bit of an upgrade. And then the whole Zeke coming to the Pats, I think too. So
offensive lineman Ezekiel Elliott.
They lost Damian Harris, who wasn't bad, but Zeke is probably a little bit of an upgrade, but he's getting up there. So I don't know. It's a very odd. I don't think they're going to be much better. I don't think they're going to be much worse. I have them just going down a little bit, but yeah, 6-11.
Zeke signing pissed me off because I bet he picked Andre Stevenson the day before. That's my number one.
Oh,
I mean, Zeke is
still gonna He's still gonna be.
He's just their short yardage guy.
He'll vulture a ton from Ramondre.
Yeah,
but Zeke seems like the guy that would turn into fucking Jerome Bettis and just get fat as fuck and play till he's 35.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got him going 8-9. And I think that's a generous low 8-9.
Low?
Yeah. I was thinking more 9-8, to be honest with you.
Oh,
and no, I know I'm saying, but sneaking into the playoffs 9-8.
Okay.
Oh,
because I think I think that Washington game, that's the one I'm looking at. Because if they beat Washington, which in theory I think they should, I think they go 9-8 and end up sneaking in as the 7th seed. But I also don't see Washington losing that many games because I think Washington is taking a step up this season. But I don't know if that'll show in the record. But because I said it last year too, and I ended up being right that Washington was going to screw some stuff up, and they went 8-9 last season.
You're right, they did. But that was with Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, but I think Sam Howell's a better quarterback than Taylor Heineke. Get out of here with that shit. Yeah,
there'll
so
be no Taylor Heineke slander here.
So Andrew's high. Andrew's a little high.
No, I'm going 8-9. That's what my gut's telling me, because my gut is telling me Washington's going to win that game. But watch that Washington game.
Okay, I like that.
And but I also think that they finished 3-3 in the division. I think they have a better division record against better than the Dolphins and the Jets.
Okay.
Because I got the Dolphins at 2-4 in the division too. The only one I have, and that's just because I think the Bills are going to dominate that division and just slip up once. And I think it's who do I have the Bills losing to in the division?
The Dolphins of Miami.
It's got to be the Dolphins, right?
Well, and the Jets, maybe.
Maybe I have them splitting with the Jets.
So we have them pretty mid though, second, third place in the division, maybe last.
No, I have them coming last in the division.
Okay.
I have the Pats coming last in the division.
Cool.
Behind
So
the
you have it
Jets by
stacked.
1 game.
That's a stacked division too.
I think that is going to be a really, really good division, and I think that Patriots defense is going to be good, and I think Mac Jones is going to take a stride forward this year.
Okay.
I actually have them at 9-8.
Okay.
I'm with you on it. Couple things I think are being lost here for some people. That defense is fucking scary good.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the offense can't not get better because Matt Patricia is no longer calling plays.
Yeah,
Like-
no kidding there. No kidding.
Like
What a joke.
I cannot fathom what went into that decision in the first place to allow that to happen. But addition by subtraction is happening here on offense. Also, like Juju is the best receiver they've had on their roster in a while, so that I think helps. Which I don't really think that's saying a whole lot, but I do think that at least helps to some degree with Mac's development. Hopefully, he can at least get back to the level that he played at as a rookie, because last year was rough.
Yeah.
Do you think Zappy's got a chance to come on in?
No,
You think it's the Mac show?
I think it has to be Mac.
Mac attack.
Okay.
I think we
Zappy's-
saw what Zappy was, what his cap is.
But Zappy was electric.
Yeah, he had some fun games where Mac's just always consistently like a game manager kind of guy.
Yeah, very boring.
He has to play as a point guard. I think he can be a more exciting quarterback, but like much like Tua, it's got to be like in that point guard point style. Like you got to be quick trigger, like you're the general, not like Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I see where you're
I
getting
think
at.
I think if Zappy would have won that Green Bay game, I think he would have been like the starter throughout the year. Because that game he popped off when he was the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
insane.
Finally, I have the Patriots going 7-10. Their defense is going to carry them to most of their wins. And kind of like Tomlin, Belichick always seems to hover around that 500 mark if he's got kind of an average to bad team. Judon probably going to have another great year.
I need y'all to know I don't even taste these anymore.
What does that even mean?
It's just
Burned off.
numb.
It's
It's
just
just numb.
Like, like that last bite I heard, like bit, like really
Ooh.
didn't burn that much. Also, the wings are just cold, like actually cold.
That might actually help.
Maybe it does.
That's rough.
But yeah, 7-10 for the Patriots.
I like it.
Mac's career is probably on the line this year if he doesn't
I would-
perform.
I would agree with that. He's one more season away from coming to Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I think Sam Darnold's better than him.
You didn't watch him play for 3 years.
I know, but I think he's better than him.
You think that?
I will take Sam Darnold's ceiling versus Mac Jones' ceiling because
I think we've seen Sam Darnold's ceiling.
I think Sam Darnold could be good in the 49ers.
I mean, Sam
If-
Darnold did breathe out Trey Lance. So
If Brock Purdy gets injured, I think Sam Darnold's going to play better than Brock Purdy.
then Trey Lance.
Well, no, I'm saying I think if Brock
Oh,
Purdy gets
I see
hurt,
what you're saying.
Sam Darnold is going to come in and play better than Brock Purdy.
Okay.
I
see
think
what you're
Brock Purdy's a fraud.
No, I also do too. I think it's a joke that they just gave up on Trey Lance and they went with Brock Purdy. But
Well,
you
now
know,
they just announced today that Sam Darnold's QB2.
saying. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Like-
his team because Purdy's going to get hurt again, and it's Sam Darnold's team.
Praying on downfalls here.
Might as well. Why not?
That Carolina connection, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey back at it again. But this time with a coach, so who knows?
True.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm good.
AFC South. Let's get it.
Worst division in the league.
No, I disagree.
Second,
and we'll
second,
talk about it.
second
close.
worst.
It's
But
close.
I think
Second
we could,
worst.
we could probably rapid fire this one. It's I mean it's gonna be one
Yeah.
team that's good and then the rest
Yeah.
will be bad.
All
right. I'll just go through my four.
Go for it.
quick. I got the Jags at 13-4.
Holy crap.
You are high.
Yeah.
You-
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me explain. They're gonna sweep the division.
No, I got
And
him
then
dropping one.
Ooh.
They have to if they sweep the division, they only have to go 7-4 the rest of the year.
Only 7-4. Whoa.
That's very capable. They won what 7 in a row or 6 in a row to finish the year to win the division.
I mean, yeah.
I
So
think
what
that they
happens
can,
one year always happens the next year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
Especially
I
in
think
the NFL.
I think that they can compete with every team in the AFC. I think that Duval is one of the hardest places to play in the National Football League. We see teams go in there that are really good and fall all the time. Look at the Cowboys last year.
Yeah, because that's because they played down to the Jaguars.
Are you trying to say that Jaguars aren't a good team?
No, I'm saying they're a good team this year, but you're using examples from past years when the Jaguars have been awful and all the teams just come in there and expect that they're just going to roll over them. Like look at the Bills a couple of years ago. Like
but they still, I'm just saying, but teams generally, like a lot of teams that like if the Jaguars will still play good and they will beat teams that they shouldn't in do fall. I think the Jaguars are a really good home team. But yeah, I mean, this might be high, but I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have another great,
that's an MVP caliber type of year right there.
Yeah, and I think that's capable. Have you seen Calvin Ridley? That guy is literally.
I love Ridley. Ridley's like a freak talent. Yeah. I'm excited for him to be back.
If their offense was pretty good last year, can you imagine it this year with Calvin Ridley? It's going to be even better. They have four guys that are basically wide receivers. Evan Ingram is not a tight end; he's basically a receiver. Let's be honest. And then you got ETN. I mean, like their offense is gonna be crazy, and they have a very underrated defense too. Like they have players, so I think they're gonna be really good, and I think Doug Peterson also helps that too. I got the Texans at 6-11, the Titans and Colts at 5-12. Self-explanatory, just garbage teams. Probably could beat up on some of the bad NFC teams that they play, which I'm pretty sure they play the NFC South. So, yeah.
I mean, I would argue that how good the Titans are is just entirely dependent on whether or not Tannehill stays healthy. They were 7-3 before he went down.
I don't even think that they're going to be good with him healthy.
I don't understand why people think that they are going to be worse this year than last year with a receiver.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Like they got DeAndre Hopkins. They got a better receiver than when they had AJ Brown.
Oh,
whoa! I mean, this is
Diop
prime
is washed.
nuke anymore.
I don't. Hop is not.
Hop
still got it, man. Hop still got it.
I do think he's right now. He's at the very least an elite big slot though, which will be helpful for guys like Treylon Burks and Nick Wessakine.
Yeah, I think that Derrick Henry is done.
You've said that for like 4 straight years. You've said that for 4 straight years.
I think he's going to take a dump this year.
You said that. You said that so many times in a row, Jack.
And I'm going to die on that take. I think the Chiefs were. I don't think the Chiefs were that good of a team last year, and they fucking won the Super Bowl. So I'd have bad takes, but I think the Chiefs. I have bad takes. What can I say?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I still think that Chiefs team was one of the most overrated Super Bowl winning teams of all time.
All right. I mean, I've got Jags high. I've got 12-5, so I'm kind of right there with you. Very high.
Yeah, exactly. See,
I think the division is pretty bad, but I do think, all right, behind Andy Reid, I think Doug Peterson's the best coach in football, to be honest. I love Doug Peterson. He can do any team he's been with. He creates havoc for people, and he is such. I hated him.
He's better than Kyle Shanahan.
I do. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think just the fact that he just came to the Jags and instantly they're just good again. I mean, they have a good quarterback.
I could not feel more differently about Doug Peterson.
The Eagles, they won a Super Bowl
what
with, like,
happened
Nick Foles.
last year was addition by subtraction.
We'll
Literally,
see.
Urban Meyer being gone.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
they even
see.
got better just after Urban finally got fired that year. Like, so
don't get me started on that. Urban's my boy. He's my number one coach all time. So I love Urban. I love Urban. It's just the Jags are pussies and they can't handle toughness. But anyways, the Jags are
hitting
good.
On college girls, the Urban Meyer way.
Jags, I don't.
Oh yeah,
dude. They're of age.
With the photo,
which is more than what I
keep that in
say.
context. People.
At least he's getting something.
With a photo of him and his wife, literally right behind the bar that he's.
I'm living vicariously.
Just hand on the. That's the picture I'm talking about.
Living vicariously.
Hey, you want to see the locker
But
room?
no, I think Ridley's huge, big addition. Their offense will be sick. I think it's going to be really good. And their defense should be good. Doug Peterson always has a pretty good defense. He always comes up with crazy schemes. I actually I'm high on the Texans a little bit this year, 8-9, but I think they're going to improve. That is high compared to last year. I think they had a sick draft. If Stroud's going to start slow, but I do actually like their team a little bit. And I think they got DeMeco Ryans for D coordinator now. Ryans. So DeMeco Ryans is a good D coordinator. So defense will keep him in games. Anthony Richardson, I've got a little spot in my heart for him as a Gator fan, but I also have some hate for him because he just could not throw at all. So I think he'll have games where he's going to flash and everybody's going to be in awe of his athletic ability, but I don't think he's going to improve that team by a ton. The NFL is just a different game. And they have Jim Bob Cooter, and anybody with a coach named Jim Bob Cooter is probably going to lose some games. So, yeah. So I have
all screens and draws on third downs.
What's that?
All screens and draws on third.
All screens. Yeah, you're right. You're right. 8-9 Texans, Colts 7-10, Titans 6-11. I think that could just be they're going to be a mess kind of together. I think around that area. And then Jags are gonna. This is the biggest blowout in any of the divisions for me. The Jags are gonna win with ease in this division.
Yes. Do you think they're gonna sweep them?
What?
Sweep the division?
No, 4-2 in the division.
Oh, all right.
I think they probably lose maybe to the Colts once or Texans once, but
I actually have the Jags going 9-8. I think they do what they did last year. They didn't go 9-8 last year, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they opened up the season in actually let me change something real quick because now I'm looking at this and now I'm curious. All right. I like that more. Yeah, I got the Jags going 9-8, 4-2 in the division. And then I've got Tennessee going 9-8, but going 2-4 in the division. I do think that they definitely take a step up, but I'm kind of a believer in the Titans, but I just don't see them winning the right games for it to matter. Colts I got going 5-12. I just think they're arguably the worst team in the league, and the only team that I think is worse than them is the team that I'm making 4-13, and that's the Texans. I don't think I think he's going to be a bust.
Oh, no.
I really do. I think he's going to be a huge bust because I don't think he has any help. I think he's going to find out how quick the linebackers are in the NFL that I don't think he was used to, especially playing in the Big Ten. The only game he played in his entire collegiate career where I can be like, oh, okay, is that Georgia game.
That was his last game. That's enough for me.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think that's the
yeah, but you have bad takes.
Yeah, I do. I look at that. That's fine. I didn't say that he was gonna be good. I'm just a Stroud boy.
They were 3-14 last year with shit quarterbacks. Adding a quarterback whose floor is basically Davis Mills, but it could be better. I think they could win a couple more games.
And Stroud's last game was basically against an NFL defense. If he was doing that, I will take that.
But I'm saying I think that's the only time he ever saw a defense that can be that, like an NFL type fast, and he played great.
Well, besides Michigan, besides Michigan and maybe Penn State, he was playing in the Big Ten. There wasn't a lot of.
Yeah, but I don't think those guys are. I don't think that comes close to kind of defense he played against Georgia. I think that really was his only true NFL test. It's like when you get guys like Trey Lance. Where'd he play?
NDSU.
Okay, there you go.
And yeah, self-explanatory.
That's my whole point. When you don't actually play that talent, it doesn't. You got to be able to. You got to take that into account.
Well, and it's not just the talent. He's also going to be going up against defenders that are veterans in the NFL who are absolutely going to bait him.
Yeah.
he's going to make some serious mistakes, and they have that roster has so many holes that it's going to tempt Urban Meyer.
I like that. Yeah. Irby.
Top tier joke. That was a good joke.
Irby.
I like that joke.
I got
That was good. That was good.
I got the Jags at 11-6. I think they are gonna grow based off of last year, but like I don't buy that they're gonna like take the entire league by storm. I think there's still a lot of growing to do with that young roster. We got the Titans at 9-8. It kind of like what I was saying about Joe Burrow, but at running back, I do not bet against Derrick Henry to be a force in the NFL until I see him fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, good luck stopping that for an entire game.
I love him.
And Mike Vrabel led teams, like, they just win games. They do. They're tough. And like, even with all the injuries that team had last year, and I think that gets overlooked a lot too, is that it wasn't just Tannehill. They lost a lot of dudes on that roster.
They were starting Josh Dobbs. Like,
yeah, like they still won 7 games. Like,
yeah.
So like I gotta imagine it can't be as bad this year. I feel like they can patch together 9 wins. Colts, I was more optimistic on them, like at their high end, until the allowance for Jonathan Taylor to start seeking a trade. I do not like the vibe of this team anymore.
So weird.
I'm gonna put them at 6-11 just because I can see DeForest Buckner like having a couple games where he just takes over on defense and stealing them some games that they shouldn't have. But like that's about the farthest I'm willing to go for them. I am an Anthony Richardson man, but the possibility of Jonathan Taylor not being there really caps their upside. Like I said, Texans are just not in a good place. I don't think giving up first next year was great for their long-term roster building, and I got them at 4-13.
Pretty respectable. All right. I have the Jaguars going 10-7, still winning the division, but they would be the 4th division winner according to my thing. They have a good team, but they're still very young, and I'm not totally trusting it. Well, I guess it's Ridley and then it's Christian Kirk, and I don't know, but they're gonna be damn good in this easy division. I don't think I have them sweeping it, just because Jaguars, another one of those teams that seems to trip themselves. But yeah, 10-7 for them. Titans, I kind of fell into the sinkhole of thinking they're going to be a lot worse than they should be. I have them at 6-11. All going to depend on QB health there mostly, and I guess how the defense performs. And then the Colts and the Texans are both at 4-13 for me. When I was watching the draft, I did really like them moving up to the 3rd overall spot, just because draft trades are very exciting, and Will Anderson is a very cool player to see go somewhere, especially to a team that is coached by a great defensive coordinator like DeMeco Ryans. So to see what he's going to do under that system is going to be very cool. And I also like CJ Stroud coming out of college. So I think I like the Texans, but I still don't think they're going to be very good this year.
Yeah.
One more division. Here we go.
One more in the AFC.
Yep.
The AFC West, definitely a weird division. Chiefs won it last year. Gonna win it again. 14-3. I really hope they suck this year, though. I need them to suck after last year. I really do. Also, the fact that Chris Jones is just like not showing up is gonna help me too, because apparently
I'm hoping he doesn't show up week 1.
I've heard there's no communication at all between them, so that's interesting to see. But I think it's going to be scary for them. Their wide receiver core got even worse in the off season. It's Mahomes and the Kelsey show, and hopefully they can keep going. But I mean, I can't really bet against Andy Reid and Mahomes, so 14-3 is pretty respectable, I would say. But I hope that they finish way worse than this. Just because I'm sick and tired of their shit. I am so sick and tired of the fact that Patrick Mahomes has never played a road playoff game in his life. That is one of the biggest things that I hate the most, is that I think, yes, he's great, but I think his playoff success is definitely a little somewhat overrated. The fact that he has not had travel just because they're so good in the preseason. I think that he needs to go to a hostile environment in the playoffs. I'd like to see that. Not that I think he's a great quarterback, but I just wish I would see him in a hostile environment, how he would handle it, the playoffs.
I'm one of those people. I get worked up watching Patty Mahomes, baby. I love Patty. I don't think environment has anything to do with Pat. I just think he's just a stud and a half. I love him. I actually have them going a game better than last year, 15-2 this year. I love him. I just think wide receivers don't matter. I don't think, we saw Tyreek Hill. I heard that with Hill leaving, and I mean, nothing changes. So, if it's, again, we're not talking about health with any of them, then I think they're just top level. Again, Andy Reid, favorite coach in the NFL. This team is just going to be good. If you said they're not making the playoffs, you're out of your mind. They are going to be good. They're most likely winning this division. I think they're going to win by 5 games in the division. I think. Ooh. Yeah, I love this team. I think betting against them is just a bad idea at this point until they prove us wrong. But I do think they're going to have that sort of success that like New England had. I really think we're witnessing some greatness here with Patty. So yeah, I'm high on them. I don't mind them winning. I really don't. I think it's fun to watch. Their football is fun. I think the whole AFC playoffs, no matter who they play, they have so many good quarterbacks. And when it's Patty versus all of these other gunslingers, I mean, it's good football. It's just so much fun to watch. So yeah, Chiefs high, 15-2. Does anybody have them doing bad?
No, I got them going 13.
0-17. No.
Yeah, this is the year.
I think I really want to put him. I still probably could. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go 14-3. I don't really want to do that to the Broncos because I think the Broncos will be better this year.
Same.
But
that doesn't mean
hard not to be.
Yeah.
You know what?
By the way,
I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going
13-4.
13-4, and my big loss, I think they lose 3 in a row.
Ooh.
I got them losing to the Broncos in Denver, and then I got them losing to the Dolphins in Germany. And then I got the Eagles coming back with a vengeance in week 11 after the bye.
Patty Mahomes don't lose road division games.
Yeah, he's a baller. By the way, no Bieniemy, at which I think Bieniemy all his career has just ridden the coattails of good players. So I actually think it might be better with Nagy. I think is now there. And
oh no, that's gotta be a joke.
I love it. I think Bieniemy's the biggest. There's a reason why he's failed 36 interviews or whatever it is, because he's just so bad at interviewing. And
Vikings could have had him, man. Vikings could have had him.
Well, I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't.
Harbaugh.
He was our running backs coach during Adrian Peterson days, and then all his career with Kansas City has been Patty Mahomes. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see what he does. Where did he go? What
Washington?
He's in Washington.
Have fun with that offense, bud. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah,
So,
actually, I'm gonna change it. I don't have them
Oh
losing
my
3
God.
in a row. I know it's the same record. I'm just gonna have
Oh,
Denver beating them in Kansas City.
okay. So 13-4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
I have the same record for them. It's 13-5. Like you don't kind of bet against them. You don't. It's just throwing money in a money pit and burning it. Just don't do it. Stop it. You've done it before. Stop it. You keep doing it.
yeah, it's just stop. What is the definition of insane or whatever? When
Insanity, yeah.
insanity.
The shit that he does every year.
Yeah, stop betting against them. So we all have them high. We all have the Chiefs high.
Yes, 14-3 for me also. So
okay, we don't need much else. I think.
Yeah, I don't need to explain my piece. We've already said all that we need to.
What did I had the Chargers going 10-7. You know, just about the same as
10-7.
last year. They're not going to improve as much.
I got them going down. I got
Injury
9-8.
basically is what's going to happen again.
Yeah, I agree. I have it 9-8. Just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, I'm 10-7. I think they're going to stay just about pretty similar. You know, Keenan Allen, he's made of glass. He'll probably die at some point on the field again.
Oh yeah,
I guess
they did get that. Yeah, he always does. Quentin Johnson's good. They got him in the draft, so I think they literally got him to just knowing at some point they're going to have to replace Keenan Allen. So, but it's the same team. They're going to be good. Their offense will, you know, Herbert's going to do his thing. Eckler, you know, that whole crew. It's a good offense, pretty good defense. I do think they're going to. I think I had them beating the Chiefs, maybe a game, maybe at the end of the season or something when it probably doesn't matter. But they're going to be good. It's 10-7, 9-8. I think that's a good spot to have them. But
I'm actually gonna go 11-6.
Really?
And my
yeah,
reason is Kellen Moore is worlds better than Joe Lombardi.
yeah.
And like Joe Lombardi shouldn't keep getting offensive coordinator jobs, and yet his last name just keeps getting it for him.
Facts. That's nepotism to a T.
Yeah, but I think their offense is going to be significantly better. I'm hoping that, you know, they can kind of keep the talent they have on defense healthy enough for them to, you know, be the threat to Kansas City that their talent says they should be. But the only reason I'm even like keeping their wins this low is because Chargers going to charge.
Yep.
Like they're going to throw some games that they absolutely have no business throwing.
They should be better than what they are. I just don't think they will.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and they're gonna get injured too eventually.
Yep, the Chargers can just not stay out of their own damn way. They
They're
like
gonna challenge
Brandon Staley has gone down for me as a coach. Like he's gotten worse every single year. It seems like even though they made the playoffs last year, it still seems like he's not that good as he was touted to be coming out of the Ram system. I have him going 9-8. I have them missing the playoffs.
ooh.
They're just not going to get out of their own way. Like I said, it's just Chargers are the epitome of that team that is just cursed because they cannot like do anything without tripping themselves. So yeah, 9-8.
Quit tripping over your own dick.
Is that your last one, Andrew?
It's the last one, and we're
Good
just
job,
gonna
buddy.
do it. I'm not
Brandon,
even
why
gonna
does
take
why does the
break.
color of his wing look so much different than mine?
Don't you even fucking try to play that. Don't you try to. I know
I
what
mean,
you're
it
trying to
does.
do.
I like
Don't
that.
you
I'm
do
not.
that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I like
no, but
that.
mine look dark orange. That's why I say that, or like a bright orange kind of. That's why I
No,
say.
there's an orange tint to him.
Oh, I guess.
hard
It's,
to-
oh,
you're in
yeah,
a
'cause
dark room.
It's just a dark room.
So to say, don't play me like that. My mouth is on fire. You see how red my face is?
Just hear it. You can just hear it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the AFC out of the way.
No,
We'll
no,
move to
we
the
got-
NFC.
I gotta
We
finish
got
this.
the Broncos
We
of the
still got
Raiders.
2 teams
Oh,
left.
dude, I forgot. They're so irrelevant. I'm just gonna get all right. Broncos 7-10. They'll improve, like we said, they'll improve, but not very much. I think that Russell Wilson is kind of he's kind of seen his days. And then I think that the Raiders will compete for the first pick at 3 and 14, and Josh McDaniels will definitely get fired in the middle of the year this year. 100%.
You think the Raiders can afford that?
That's crazy.
Can afford to what?
Fire him? Yeah.
Yeah, why not? He's not,
because they're running out of money last year. That's why they couldn't let him go or whatever. Isn't that the story?
Maybe. Well, he might just get demoted to like assistant head coach, and they might just put the assistant head coach at head coach or something because he is awful.
Well, I mean, the incoming head coach is probably just going to fire him.
He's proven that he's not a good coach. When he was in Denver, when they caught him for fucking filming practices, and then they were 6-0, and then someone missed the playoffs. Like, it's proven that he's an awful coach.
All right, yeah, I have same thing. I have Broncos 7 and 10. I love Sean Payton. I think he's just a good coach. I think he's gonna be good for Russell Wilson. I don't think Russell Wilson's washed up. I think he was in kind of a mess of a team when he came in, and I think the situation is just going to be a little bit better with him having a year under his belt there. So, 7 and 10, nothing crazy. I think they have a better offensive line now to kind of protect him a little bit. They went out and got a couple guys. So, I like them. Raiders, I have 7 and 10 as well. So I don't have them really going anywhere. I love Tyree Wilson. I think it's great they picked him up. That'll help a little bit. But and Jimmy G, I mean, Jimmy G's not much of an upgrade or disadvantage than Carr. I think you're running into just about the same kind of guy. So 7 and 10.
Hot take. I think Sean Payton is one of the most overrated head coaches to win.
You think you just had Drew Brees?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
look at his playoff success after the Super Bowl when he fucking bounty gate. Yeah, he was not good. He made it to what, one NFC title game, and then they threw a tantrum for the pass interference when they got the ball in overtime.
I mean, that is literally one of the most egregious calls that we've ever seen.
Yeah, but like, okay, so let's say that it goes the way it's supposed to be. It's a pick six, and the Rams easily win the game instead of struggling to win it in overtime. And winning on a 60-yard field goal, but I don't feel bad for the Saints fans ever, so I never will. So yeah, all right, go ahead.
I got the Broncos going 8 and 9. I think Javonte really takes some strides with a better O-line, and I also think with them having Russell Wilson and how much that they would throw the ball under Sean Payton, I think that'll take a lot of pressure off of him. And I think you'll really see a jump in his YPC.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I ate 2 back-to-back.
What about the Raiders? What about the Raiders?
Raiders, I feel like this probably generous. I'm gonna go back and look right quick just to make sure. No, I don't want him doing that. Yeah, I like that better. I got him going forward 13. I'm with you.
Same. All right.
I'm with you. I was thinking maybe 5 and 12, but I don't see it.
That's like he's on the verge of tears.
I know, man. He's struggling. So are we in the AFC? We're all basically the same with our division winners, minus the Bengals and the Ravens.
The North, yeah.
I think so.
I still don't think. I mean, I got them going 12 and 5, but what's funny is I don't know if this is similar to y'all, but I have the Ravens at 12 and 5, and going in the playoffs as a 5 seed.
Yeah, similar to me.
Yeah. I think.
So where do you guys have Raiders and Broncos?
What you got, Matt?
I got the Broncos at 8 and 9. I do think that I do believe that Sean Payton is a good coach. And I do believe that Sean Payton knows how to run a good offense. And I think in that way, yes, he can help Russell Wilson. I do not believe that he can make Russell Wilson not be an asshole. So
let's ride.
I do think that's probably going to be a problem with them consistently winning games is some of the shenanigans that he was doing last year and the consistency of Seahawks players coming out and being like, yeah, no, I am not about that guy. So, you know, I think that kind of caps their potential there. But I am going to say I got the Raiders at 7-10. And that is probably not for the reasons that you think it is. We all know that Jimmy G can't stay healthy. But I am an Aiden O'Connell believer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're going Aiden.
Yeah, I am all about
You're
Aiden
a big
O'Connell.
tenor, aren't you? You're a big tenor.
Yeah, I grew up in Metro Detroit. So.
Yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. I think Jimmy G's game does not align very well with what Devontae Adams does well. Aiden O'Connell does, because he loves to just fuck it and chuck it. That's his game.
Yeah.
Fuck it and chuck it.
And like nobody runs a better fade route than Devontae. We'll put it up there for him. And sometimes it's going to work for him. Sometimes it's not. But when it works, they're going to win games they shouldn't.
Okay, so do you think even if Jimmy G doesn't get hurt, is Aiden O'Connell taking over at some point in the year?
Honestly, given that McDaniels is going to have to save his job, if they start like 1-6, they kind of have to change it up.
Yeah.
Is he even the backup? Like the backup on the roster? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, not that it means anything because it's preseason, but like he's looked real good in preseason.
Yeah, I did.
To round out the AFC, I have the Broncos going at 9-8. They are still a very talented roster for the most part, at least in the skill positions. And you got a solid defense there with Simmons and Surtain on the corners, or corner and safety. So, and then you bring in a better head coach that can manage the clock by himself, and they don't have to go overseas, so you don't have to have Russell Wilson doing high knees in the aisle. So I think the team chemistry should be up this year. I think they should be just fine. Tough division still, as per usual. So there's going to be a lot of close games, but I can see them like splitting with the Chargers and taking both from the Raiders and things like that. So, and then, yeah, talking about the Raiders, I have them going 3-14. To be honest, I kind of forgot Devontae Adams was on this team, but he's still only one person. You're going to have Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball to him. Like, I don't trust that. If they're going to win, it's going to be on the back of Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. Like, their defense is nothing. It's
Josh Jacobs ain't going to play.
Didn't he report now?
No.
I did.
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't heard much.
Yeah. So if that does not get sorted out, then I feel very confident in my 3-14. And it's still basically like for the Chargers, the Raiders is still kind of like you're playing almost like 17 road games. Like lots of visiting fans come into Allegiant Stadium. So it's not very Raider heavy as other stadiums would be. So yeah, 3-14 for them.
Yeah, they're a tourist team. All right, so we're going to move to the NFC. Now we move into the NFC West. 49ers, we got them going 12-5. Roster's just too good, no matter the quarterback. Pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right. I actually, this is probably like the shocker. I actually have the Seahawks winning the division.
That's wild.
I love the Seahawks. I'm a Carroll guy, ride or die with Pete Carroll, so I love him. And I think they drafted very well. They got arguably the best corner in the draft. That will help. And then when Jackson Smith comes in, I mean, that offense is stacked. And I love my Michigan State guy, K9, baby. I love Kenneth Walker. That's my boy. So I think their offense is very, very good. And I know it's Geno, but Geno had a great year. And if they can keep protecting him, that dude could tear some teams apart. And I don't know. I'm not on the Brock Purdy thing yet. So I think this whole quarterback thing, I think they will come. Their offense is very good. It's very well coached. So I think you can throw anybody back there and they're going to be good. But I don't know if I trust Purdy quite yet. So I think they're going to regress just a teeny bit. But they're still good. The 49ers, I have them very close, 11-6. So I think it's going to be a close race. But yeah, this is my shocker. I think Pete Carroll loves to have these random seasons where they're just good. And they had a good draft. Their offensive line or defensive line got better. So yeah, go Seahawks, baby. Pete Carroll. Let's see the old man running the sidelines again.
You don't think that random season where they're good was last year? You think they're going to continue their success?
I don't think it was random. I think it's I think they're legit.
Gino's never had that good of a year ever.
What, the Seahawks?
Yeah, I'm way too high on the Seahawks. I am way too high on the Seahawks, and I will say that this is just because they have to face the Rams and the Cardinals, and there's
we'll get to them, and I'll explain how bad but
their schedule.
I agree. I think even if they split with the 49ers, I think you have two bad teams, and I don't know. I'm very high. I always like the way they're coached. I like the way they drafted. I like their offseason. They picked up some D-line help, which always helps a defense. So watch out, man. I'm going. This is my shocker here. Seahawks taking the division.
Andrew, what you got for the 49ers here?
I got them 11-6. That's who I got winning the division. That defense is just too good. There's too many weapons. I mean, I could be quarterback for him, even though I don't really think Brock Purdy is the answer. I think Kyle Shanahan is the best offensive coach. I honestly think next to Andy Reid, he is the best coach in the NFL right now, right this second. I think he's dealing with too many quarterback issues, but I think if they could ever get that figured out, they'd be deadly. And I think they'd probably be the best team in the NFL because I think overall they are the best team in the NFL across the board. But I think the quarterback position matters too much for them to get over the hump to be like a Bengals or a Bills or a Kansas City. But I think everything about them is great. I think the only other thing that they probably aren't the best all around with is their O-line. But yeah, 11-6, 4-2 in the division. I have them as the number 2 overall seed in the NFC.
Okay.
I mean, I got the Sea Chickens.
Yeah,
at 12-5.
Wow. Let's go.
Y'all can doubt Gino all you want, but like the man played good football, and that's from actually putting in the work and like making himself understand football better. He just made good decisions. It's as simple as that. He didn't need to be anything crazy like Mahomes. He just needed to get it to DK and Lockett. So I think that part continues. JSN, obviously, when he gets back and healthy, another huge weapon. You give Pete Carroll Devin Witherspoon, that man's going to be a monster. Pete Carroll is probably the best defensive backs coach in the NFL, and he's a head coach. So I'm all about them this year. I hate that they're our second game of the season after we play Kansas City.
Sure.
But yeah, they're going to be a force this year, and I do not like the vibe of the 49ers coming into this year. They are, at the very least, certain players are far too fixated on what happened with the Eagles. And it reminds me a lot of the Steelers, who were obsessed with beating the Patriots and would throw games away because of that, how obsessed they were.
So what's the record? What's the 49ers record?
I still have them going 10-7.
Oh.
They're a good team, but I think just that little bit of being off is enough for them to lose some games that they would normally win.
Okay. So I'm on the high end of everybody. I have been going 14-3. I think that their defense is just too good. And you just need Brock Purdy to either stay healthy or just play decent football. Like you got a super talented skill group around him in like you got Ayuk, you got McCaffrey, you got George Kittle. Like you just gotta play decent football.
Debo.
And Debo, yeah. Why would I forget about Debo? Debo too.
Because he's busy talking about the Eagles.
Yeah. And then you got that amazing defense. Like I think it's gonna be, especially in a division like this where it's clearly between just two teams. I think the 49ers can sweep most of the division, maybe split with the Seahawks. So yeah, I think 49ers are gonna be a powerhouse this year again.
Well, we might as well go to the Seahawks. They've already talked about the Seahawks enough.
Yeah, we will go to the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks 7-10. Yeah, I think this division
Big
is
swing.
just going. I think they're just gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Really? The Rams and the Cardinals too?
The Rams are gonna be better this year. And actually, I have the Cardinals only going 2-4, but I have the Rams and the Seahawks both going 3-3 in the division. Kyler is still Kyler. I don't see them only winning 6 games. So I feel like I need that 7th. And then I do think Matthew Stafford will be back. So the whole quarterback thing is going to be fixed. They're not going to be having to bring in Baker Mayfield at the end of the season to win a 5th game. That's only 2 more wins than what they had last year. And that's with Cam Akers playing terrible and Matthew Stafford being hurt. I think you'll start to see more of that Super Bowl team, but I don't think they're not as good. I don't think the defense is nearly as good. So yeah, I got Seahawks 7. Actually, I'll just go through all of them right quick because I have them all at 7-10.
Really? The Cardinals at 7-10.
Wow.
I do actually because I keep going back. That's why. Oh, that's why.
Oh,
okay. All right. 6-11 for the Cards. 6-11 for the Cards. And I have the Bengals at 14-3. I clicked on the Cardinals to beat the Bengals accidentally.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be
sorry,
cool.
I was dying. So Bengals 14-3.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then Cardinals 6-11.
All right, we got it now.
My bad. But yeah, no, I think the Cardinals really aren't going to be that good. There's a new Call of Duty coming out, and it's going to be a really, really good Call of Duty.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I think they're going to be selling big time. I think they're going to be big time sellers this season.
Ending at 6-11, that still seems high, but you think? Yeah, Jack, what you got for the Seahawks?
All 3 of them.
I just did all 3 because I originally had them all at 7-10.
Oh no, I'll go all 3.
Okay.
I think the Seahawks, the reason why I think they'll be this good is because their roster is young and they are improving and they had a good year last year. They have confidence. I think we saw the ceiling of Geno Smith. I think they very well could finish 7-10. I think Geno Smith is not good. I think he's overrated as fuck. I think people put way too. I know they wrote him off, but they wrote too much back on this last season. That's his first good season of his career. I'd like to see him do it again. I got them going 10-7 just because their schedule's easy. I had them losing to every good team and beating pretty much every bad team or teams that are good at home. Every road good. Every game they play on the road that they play a good team, I have them losing because I don't think they're that good. And then the Rams, I think they're garbage. 3-14. That defense has gotten worse. I think the Stafford neck injury is just something that's not talked about enough, and that he's almost on the verge of retiring, and it's kind of getting pushed under the rug a little bit. I think that might come up this year. He might get hurt because of that offensive line being atrocious. And then, this is the worst team in the league by far. The Cardinals are fucking awful. pew pew pew. That's going to be their season, like going up in flames. 2-15. The Cardinals are literally the worst team in the league.
Think?
Oh yeah.
See, now y'all got me thinking. I might need to change some stuff.
No, don't change. You don't change.
Kyler's out for at least half the year.
Oh, is he?
He tore his ACL last year.
I didn't know he was still out. Oh, that drastically changes
Well,
things.
so he claimed he was shooting to be back week 1, but I don't see how that's realistic.
No, he's tore it way too late. Plus, you got Colt McCoy starting too, and Colt McCoy's good for maybe 1 game at his age. Imagine like 10 games of Colt McCoy. Yeah, not good.
All right,
It might just Kyler might not even play this whole year because they might just say fuck it and just go for
I was
the
gonna
number
say
one
if they're
overall pick.
like,
I don't know why
1-7.
they wouldn't go for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should just trade Kyler if they can.
So
Well, I did say I think they'll be selling this year. All right, so all right, just let me just go back and
here we
redo what
go.
I just changed because it's I have him with Kyler being out. I got him 3-14 now, and I've got LA 6-11.
So they
And
went
then-
down with.
They did actually because
Okay.
I had to change something else on that because I don't see them going worse than 6-11. But them 3-14, 6-11, Seahawks 8-9, and then I got the Steelers at 10-7
why are you back up at Steelers now? All of a
because
sudden?
I have the Cardinals now losing to the Steelers.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll
So-
just
Get it?
I'm just gonna say I had Rams and Cards are the bottom feeders of the NFL. My last place 2 teams, 2-15, both of them, 2-15.
Fair enough.
I think they are both going to be just hot garbage. You're right with Stafford. I think the Rams have done nothing the past 2 years other than just sell everybody off. They're just getting rid of people. They haven't been able to draft. It's just been like really rough. I mean, they got a Super Bowl out of it, so that you know what, it worked, but now they're in that weird bad stage. And yeah, the Cardinals even haven't really been able to bolster. I actually do think losing Hopkins is a big deal. I think he's still just very, very good. So they're garbage. This will be your last 2 place teams for me.
So do you really think though that? See, I don't know, man. I don't think the Rams are worse this year than last year. I still have them picking up a game.
We'll find out.
Their defense got worse.
They lost Ramsey. They lost Bobby Wagner. They lost some guys, man. They've just been selling. They're just pure selling.
Their offensive line is horrible still.
Yeah. New
We'll
head
see.
coach in Arizona. I don't know. It's
Stafford
just a
will
mess.
not finish the year. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah. No
Matt,
Baker
what do
to
you
back
got
him
for-
up.
Yeah,
Cardinals,
so I'm gonna put the Rams at 6-11.
Okay, I feel better.
Because I do. If I knew Stafford was going to play 17 games, I might even go higher, just because Stafford and Cooper Kupp together, and like the games where Aaron Donald just completely wrecks the other offensive like game plan.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they're going to steal some games, but I don't know how many games of Stafford you're actually getting, and still, like, having those 3 dudes is enough for you to take some games with basically a skeleton crew. Like, they are going to be running with a bunch of undrafted free agents, some of them who are probably going to work out for them and like actually help with their roster building going forward, but like still it's not going to make you particularly very good this year. As for the Cardinals, I'm going 2-15. I think they're absolutely in tank mode. I do not think it is a coincidence that they made sure they got Houston's first round pick next year as well, with the upcoming draft having Drake May and Caleb Williams in it. They want every chance in the world to get their next quarterback of the future since they have a quarterback who literally does not watch tape.
You imagine though if they're like believers in Kyler and they get the first pick, and then they just trade those and they can have like 4 first-round picks next year. That'd be kind of nuts.
That would be nuts. For me, I think that, like I said earlier, Seahawks' lucky season was last season. I have them going 8-9, missing the playoffs. Still a decently talented roster, but I just don't see it happening again this year. They kind of captured lightning in a bottle last year of making the playoffs. Now, I guess if the rest of the NFC starts to like kind of suck it up a little bit, 8-9 could possibly push them in. But yeah, Rams 5-12. They're gonna be all right, I guess, but they just got nobody on that team anymore, and it's how the mighty have fallen basically for them. And then the Cardinals 3-14. I feel like it's like, I guess it's not because the Jaguars did a couple years ago, but I feel like it's hard in the NFL to lose more than 14 games. So that's why I always try and set my low end at is 14 losses. So that's kind of where I put the Cardinals at, because there's always going to be one game where the bad team wins. So yeah, Cardinals 3-14.
How much you want to bet? How much do you think Aaron Rodgers wishes he retired now? Goddamn, he should have just gone out on top. He said he was going to, and then they paid him a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that usually does the trick.
Yep.
Yeah, good voice. Right, we move to the NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles, defending NFC champions. I got them going 12-5. I just think it's hard to repeat the year they had last year. They got some new pieces on defense. Running back room, I would probably say it improved, but I think it's going to be tough to repeat how good they were last year. Now, I think they can do it, but I think their schedule is a little tougher than it was last year.
I got them going 13-4. I think that's the best. I think that's the best O-line in the league. And I think Devonta Smith gets another year to develop. I hope that they crash and fucking burn after what Devonta Smith did to me last season in the Super Bowl. Does everybody know this story?
I don't think so.
No.
I had a 5-leg parlay.
It's one leg too long already, I know.
Travis Kelce, touchdown. AJ Brown, touchdown. Pat Mahomes, touchdown. Kansas City winning. And Devonta Smith, touchdown. And that motherfucker stepped out at the 2-yard line on a wide open pass and cost me $1,500. I have never seen, because we all were just like, actually, that's like a really good bet. And I was like, all right, if this hits, like, you got to give credit where credit is due. We had like 9 guys in on this bet for like $20 a pop, and the payout was like $1,500 each. And like, so my buddy did it, and I think the total payout was like over 10 grand or something. And we were just sitting there, and he stepped out, and you would have thought we just like got sick. You would have thought they just did the Blazin challenge. It was so depressing. So I hope that they don't, but I do. I think that I don't think that was lightning. I really don't.
No,
I think they found their quarterback. I think they have a great offensive line. I think the receiving is going to be even better. AJ Brown's going to know the playbook better. I think they might come back with a vengeance this year.
Good.
Yeah, I got them at 13-4 as well. I'm just not betting against them, and like they're another one of those teams that just has an absolute luxury at the quarterback position. Like, I don't know how Darius Slay and Bradbury are both playing at the level they are at their age. But at this point, I am going to wait and for them to fall off before I say it's going to happen. Also, really, like, we really couldn't just keep Darius Slay in Detroit.
I know. I was gonna ask you about that. That
was my dude.
That's tough.
I fucking loved him. Him and Quandre Diggs.
Yeah, that was tough. I've got 13-4, second place in the division, but we'll talk
Ooh,
about that.
He's
Yeah.
going Danny Dimes. He's going
So,
Danny Dimes.
Still a hell of a year. Still a hell of a year. They're going to make playoffs, but I think they lost some offensive line in free agency, so their depth is a little worse. I do love the fact that they just draft every Georgia player in the draft, so that they're bound to be good if they're just drafting Georgia players, and no one else does it. So it's just they're smart. They're smart with that. But yeah, I mean, good running or good quarterback, great weapons on offense. I don't think Miles Sanders really is much of a difference. I mean, losing him and getting DeAndre, I think it is funny the Eagles just like have been swooping up on Lions and taking advantage of all of it. So I could see Swift just going crazy and making you even worse. But
my only counterpoint to that is that they replaced him with Swift and Penny, but neither Swift or Penny are on the field ever. So
well, that's as talent level, I don't know. Like
talent level,
good,
I think
but
it's
nothing great. It's nothing. But yeah, they're going to be good. There's really not much to say. I think you'd be like you said, if you bet against them right now, I think you're crazy. They're going to make the playoffs. Money. Yeah. So 13-4.
You guys make me nervous because I went to the ceiling here. I went 15-2.
Let's go.
Very little room for error there. But they just had such a good season last year. They did lose Hardgrave on the defense, but then they did replace him with a Georgia player or multiple. So it should be just fine. Offensive line is great. Jalen Hurts is great. Wide receiver core good. They kind of figured out the running back by committee thing. So I think they're going to be just fine. Their defense is like it's solid to like borderline elite. So I think they're in a good place here.
Read on those.
Yep. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Okay, the only reason why I'm doing I think the Cowboys will be better because Dak can't play any better, but the division hasn't had a repeat champion since like what 04. So
that's a good point. That's a very good point.
It's gotta be someone different. And the only other team that's gonna do it is Cowboys because the Giants are not that good. 12-5 as well, but tiebreaker gives it to them.
Okay.
I got him 11-6. I think this is the best division top to bottom record wise this year.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I really do. Not by much. But I just think the Browns are a worse ceiling than Washington.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. I also have Cowboys winning it. I have them tied with the Eagles as well, 13-4. The Eagles, from what I saw last year, they had a ton of one possession wins. So I think similar to a lot of those teams that they were close in a lot, but they just won a lot. So I could see that maybe moving them down a game or just keeping them consistently even. But I like the Cowboys. It's tough losing Kellen, I think, an offense coordinator, but I don't think it's going to matter much. Dak's playing kind of lights out. I actually love the fact that Zeke's gone because now Tony Pollard can just do his thing, hopefully, and just go crazy. I love Tony Pollard. I think he's going to be a beast. But
Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, and Deuce Vaughn, baby. So it'll be flashy. Their offense is going to be good. CeeDee Lamb, I think he's as underrated as a really good wide receiver can be. I just he's just so good. I think I have him on fantasy every single year, and he just is a stud. So, I'm high on the Cowboys. Although I never really root for them a lot, but I think they're going to be good. 13-4.
I got 9-8.
Really?
Nope, not. First of all, I am not a Dak believer. I think he is strongly overrated. And then they also lost Kellen Moore this year as their offensive coordinator. And that was largely due to Mike McCarthy basically scapegoating him. and saying that they weren't running the ball enough when they ran the ball like the 7th most in the NFL. So I gotta believe that more bad Mike McCarthy decisions are gonna hurt them this year. In addition, I think that having a downgrade in your offensive play caller is not going to help Dak Prescott with his turnover issues.
I have them going at 10-7. I mean, it's unfortunate that Dak is such a good guy, but man, it's so fun to hate on him, honestly. And like just him playing for the Cowboys does not help his case at all. But yep, they lost their offensive coordinator. They had offseason issues with the best guard in the league and Zach Martin, like that just got resolved a couple weeks ago. Like you got some turmoil there. You lost your center and Ezekiel Elliott. So like, I just don't. I want to see Deuce Vaughn run a couple of wheel routes and see if he can get open at all since he's so short. But yeah, 10-7. It's gonna be tough. They also lost Dalton Schultz. Like nobody mentioned that at all. So
yeah,
they drafted Michigan boy who's really good.
Yeah, and they also got who's
they
the
drafted
Wisconsin
someone
guy?
last year who was all right.
They got
Wisconsin
Gary
guy.
Alvarez or Barry Alvarez's grandson, Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson. That
Yeah,
guy, yeah,
that's
true.
He was solid last year. I think he'll develop.
He's the number one.
Deuce Vaughn and Tony Pollard, like both playing on the field together, would be fun.
Short Kings.
Yeah,
you could line them up. Oh man,
hide him behind somebody.
I like that.
They should do that one play where they just sit behind the line of scrimmage. Even in the NFL, no one would fall for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now move on to the New York Football Giants. I have them going 7-10. Danny Dimes is not good. Got overpaid. Saquon deserved that money. If they're going to pay any of them, the fact that Daniel Jones threw 15 touchdowns last season and got $40 million is blasphemy. And yeah, I like Dable as coach, but I just think that Daniel Jones is not good enough to win games, and they're going to have to win games to make the playoffs. And I don't think they're not going to be as hot, and they're not going to have enough fire and magic with this team this year as much as they did last year.
Yeah. Danny Dimes should pay the Vikings a little bit for just making him look so damn good in the playoffs.
Well, that's the reason why he got paid.
we hooked him up pretty fat there, but I'm down on the Giants a lot. I have them 6-11. I don't think they're going to be that good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not high on them. I do think Danny's okay. He's going to make some plays with his legs, but yeah, Saquon's the man. I love Saquon, but I'm not as high. I feel like this is one of those teams that, again, we kind of made them look much better than they are, and now teams are a little bit high on them. So nothing really crazy happened. They got Waller, which is big. That should help them a little bit, but
the way y'all are talking,
I don't know,
is how everyone else talks about Kirk Cousins. I need y'all to know that.
But they're idiots.
Yeah, if you're
but I'm saying
Danny
this is the
Dimes
same.
to Kirk Cousins, I'm going to smack.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No reason. You're wrong.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
Kirk Cousins is better than Danny Dimes.
Wait, can you turn your hat around right quick, Jarrett? I just want to double check something. Oh, it is his Homer hat.
What?
It is his Homer hat.
What do you mean?
You never heard of that?
No.
Like you're only saying that because you're a Vikings fan.
No, I just think there's no way anybody would ever put Danny Dimes very close to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, people have more respect for him.
Cousins' numbers are very, very good.
No, I'm saying the
Very
way you guys are talking about like Daniel Jones. I'm not a believer in him necessarily. I think he's good enough to win it or to win some games. Anyway, continue, Jarrett. I
don't really have much else to say. I think they're just 6-11. I think they had some close games as well that I think they'll end up probably losing this year. Yeah, I don't see any crazy spark on this team that is going to make them compete against the Eagles or Cowboys. And I think both those teams are going to just shit all over the Giants. So there you go.
That's fair. I'm going 10-7.
Oh man,
I do.
like it.
But
like
I have them going 10-7, but 1-5 in the division. But like some of the games I have them winning. I have them beating the Seahawks. I have them beating the Cardinals. The two big ones is I do have them stealing the Bills game. I think they can go into Buffalo in week 6 and steal one with a little confidence being
lay off the weed.
I'm just saying, I really do. I think that they can go in and like steal.
Andrew's
steal
really
one here and
hankering
there.
for 6 more of those Blazin Wings.
That
Save
What
that
source?
next year.
What
Buffalo
sources do you
sauce going
have?
right into his brain
On the
cells.
source.
He got the Stephen A. sources.
What
right
was
now.
what was their record last year?
Like
9-8, I think.
Okay, so I would definitely say that
they had
they're
a tie.
better.
So 10-7 could happen. It
I'm
could
saying
happen.
I do think that they've set themselves in a position to do that.
Yeah.
5-3 at home,
It could
5-4 away.
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
But
really
the
sets
thing
them in a
is, like,
position.
I have them 7-0 against losing record teams and 3-7 against winning record teams.
So okay, so they're capitalizing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
a
they're
good
going to win.
schedule.
I really do think they're going to win the games that they should, and they're going to steal one from a Buffalo type.
Okay.
Like that's kind of like where I'm at with that. Yeah.
Something.
I got 9-8 for them as well. Brian Daboll is a fantastic football coach, and like he's going to just put his team in positions to win games. And obviously, like last year, they were working with not a lot of talent, and they got lucky in certain situations. But I do want to say that like Danny Dimes did significantly get better with 1 year on him, and I don't imagine he's going to get worse with him in year 2.
They
I'm
still
not
have Mike
saying he's
Kafka,
gonna-
right?
I want to say yes.
So, like, I mean, that's another year under your O coordinator too.
Yeah. I mean that's not going to hurt either. And then I think their defense is better this year too. I like they just have more talent there. I don't think that like necessarily that's going to translate to a better record this year, but I think they're a better team. And I think that's going to go a long way in being able to at least maintain their record in a pretty meaty division.
I also have them Giants going 9-8. Maybe a little, or like still kind of looking at last year what they did, but they didn't do much to improve their wide receivers. I want to know the line on Sterling Shepard ACL tear so I can hit the over on that.
Yes.
I will take that. Like Darius Slayton, he's all right. Wan'Dale Robinson, he should be good, but again, he has Daniel Jones throwing to him. They picked up Jalen Hyatt, but like they should just kind of be there. That's my guess. Like they'll kind of quietly be a decent to good team. So yeah, 9-8.
Right. Moving on to the Cobra Commanders and the Sam Howell band. I'm part of my take. They just have the funniest quarterback names, but I got them going 3-14.
Hi.
Oh baby.
No.
How?
Ron Rivera is
They've been bad. They've been pretty
regressing.
bad. Yeah.
They went 8-9 last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a favorable schedule. They won some games they shouldn't. I don't think they're going to win that many games they shouldn't. Their roster is not that good. And plus they have Ron Rivera, who's getting even worse as a head coach. I just don't like Ron Rivera anymore. And I think with the switching of the new ownership, I think there's going to be a little bit of a getting used to the new things. And I think that's going to be hard. Plus they already said that they don't like the fact that Eric Bieniemy coaches them hard. Like that's a bad sign.
That is true.
If a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator is pushing you and you can't do it, then I don't like. That's not a good sign to me. I just don't think that they're that good of a team, unless their schedule is.
It was still hilarious when Bieniemy was introduced, and it was just like the Key and Peele skit.
Oh yeah,
where he's going through and
the name,
the handshakes, and it's like, it's pretty good. All right,
I love that.
Yeah, they just don't have that many wonderful games. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I have them dropping 3 games this year too, going to 5-12. I have them going to 5-12, so I don't have much trust. I think it is. It's the culture right now is just not good.
It's getting better though. It's definitely got better.
We'll see.
The bad man is gone.
Yeah, the bad man is gone.
Yeah.
You're only gonna beat the Commanders for one more season, so better enjoy it.
That is true. It is weird with Rivera. I mean, he's like calling out people like publicly, and again, Bieniemy, I feel like has just ridden coattails. I don't think he's as good as what we think. I think he's just had really good players when he's coached, and now he's just kind of stuck with a team that has just a lot of unknown and mediocre talent. So I don't think anything's changing much. I do, like I said, Cowboys, Eagles will probably beat down on them in the division. And yeah, schedule wise, I just think they're going to run into a tough situation. So yeah, I'm not very high in the Commanders. 5-12. They're going to be last in the division.
Also, they definitely hired Bieniemy to become the head coach eventually.
I could see that happening for sure.
Evident.
Yeah,
Ron Rivera's already been on the hot seat anyways. I think it's fairly evident that Bieniemy is going to replace him.
Yep.
All right, Andrew.
Let's hear this.
I want to go last.
Oh, okay. Matt, what do you got?
Homer Howell here.
I'm gonna go 10-7.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Addition by subtraction. I don't think people understand just how much of a fucking weight Daniel Snyder is.
No, I get
That's
it.
true.
I do get it.
I know.
Like,
I don't.
In addition to that, while I for sure have my questions about Eric Bieniemy as play caller, what we do know about him is that he's going to bring an RPO heavy offense, which is literally all Sam Howell did in college. So if Sam Howell is going to be successful, this is the offense it's going to be in. In addition, like I love Brian Robinson. Like that running back room, I think is a big plus for them. I think they can have a pretty explosive run game. And like his receivers are low key actually pretty deep.
Yeah.
That defense, tons of talent. So like there's a lot of pieces there for them to actually take a step forward. It's just about actually like connecting the dots and actually executing it.
I can see that. I'm for maybe second guessing it now, but I'm gonna stick with it. I got them at 5-12. They're like you said, they got a nice like young core of wide receivers. Like McLaurin is an unsung hero in the league. And then Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson's a very good running back room. Their defensive line is probably the best in the NFL. I'd say it's top 3 for sure. They just need to get a little bit sturdier at the corner spots, or I guess the defensive backs, and then it's all up to how coaching and Sam Howell does. So 5-12, I think that maybe reevaluating that, like maybe 4-13 is like maybe their floor. All right, Mr. Homer Hat now.
Dude, I'm not even. I got them at 9-8, and I have them sneaking in as the last team in the playoffs. I have everyone in the NFC East going to the playoffs.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You do.
But when you look at everybody else
nuts.
and like the head-to-heads, I really, really do think that I think Sam Howell, especially with that RPO.
But yeah, I actually
This
would
is
like you to go through the entire schedule, and I want you to go through the entire schedule.
I don't want to edit that at all, so please don't.
No, I mean,
Just quickly. I want to
quick.
see what like big teams he wins.
Beating Washington, losing to
They
Denver.
are Washington.
Or I'm sorry, beating Arizona, losing
Yep.
to Denver, losing
Yep.
to the Bills, losing
Yep.
to the Eagles,
Yep.
beating the Bears, beating the
Yep.
Falcons,
Nope.
beating the Giants, losing to the Eagles, beating the Patriots, losing to the Seahawks, beating the Giants again,
Yep.
losing to the Cowboys, losing to
Yep.
the Dolphins, beating the
Yep.
Rams, losing to the Jets, beating
Yep.
San Francisco. That's my one.
Whoa.
That's my one.
whoa.
That's my
Holy
one.
fuck.
And then losing to
Every
Dallas.
team gets one.
All right, that's insane.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. And honestly,
Okay, Bill
I mean,
Belichick is going to
everyone-
eat up Sam Howell. Let's be honest.
see, but the thing is, everyone wants to dick ride Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
Sam
there's a
Howell
reason.
broke all of his records. Everyone except for winning. That's the only thing. That is the only
Well, that's
thing.
the only
And
one that matters.
Sam Howell didn't have Clemson's offense.
But
Here's the thing.
Trevor Lawrence has proved it.
Yeah. And college quarterbacks break a lot of records, and then in the NFL they just know they're not going to be as good. There's a fine line, I think, between it being an NFL quarterback and a college quarterback.
I can
Thanks.
agree with
Hence
that.
why certain quarterbacks win the Heisman and don't even get drafted.
I think Sam Howell
Maybe
plays
that.
very, very similarly to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad.
build and stuff
Sam's
like
a little bit bigger.
When
Sam's a
did
little bit
Howell
bigger.
get drafted?
Last year.
Last year.
Like what? I don't. Was it
Fifth
early
round.
or late?
Fifth
Like,
round.
Fifth round. I mean, why are we hyping this guy up?
Yeah.
Like fifth round.
I don't know how he
Is
fell
this-
that hard.
Is this what we're doing here?
Because
I
he
don't
was
know how-
horrible
I'm sure
in
you
his
don't.
last year. He wasn't
He was
good in
what?
his last year. He wasn't very good in his last year.
No, that whole team wasn't good because he lost Javonte Williams, Michael
Oh,
Carter,
here we go.
Daz Newsome, De'Ami Brown. He
He
lost
scared him off by not
everybody.
eating meat. But not
Here we
yeah.
go. I get he'll have flashes too. It's going to be in an exciting offense. He'll make some plays that you'll get hyped on. Andrew, I know your
He's
love
looked
for your
really good in
homers are-
preseason.
No, I will give you that. He has looked.
He has
good,
looked
but
very
he's
good in
good.
preseason.
That
But-
that one game he played at the end of last year, also he looked very good.
And that was the only game he
Yeah.
played last season.
Here we go.
Did they win
Lions,
that?
the Lions
They
went
ended up they
4-0
won
in
that
a
game,
pre-
didn't they?
The
Yeah,
Lions
I
went
like
4-0 in a preseason and went 0-16 in the same season. So
yeah, I like
let's calm
this.
down with this whole that he looks great in preseason talk. Okay.
I'm just saying he looks solid, and I think there are things
Shout
to
out,
be
Matt.
excited about with the Commanders. I'm telling
Hey,
you, man.
I at least
was-
referenced
but
a
I was
regular
also
season
right.
game.
I was right last year about them causing some noise.
Well, I don't think I was wrong about that either.
I think I had them at I think I had them at 7-10 last year.
Yeah,
And they went
are
8
who
and
we
9?
I
thought
definitely-
they
I
were.
definitely had
They
them
are
horrible.
who
I
we
definitely had
thought they were.
Yeah.
7-9.
And this year I got them going 9-8. I think Antonio Gibson takes a big step forward this season.
I don't know.
So
Brian
what
might
I'm
be-
realizing is I'll get to it later, but we'll just move on to the NFC South.
Yeah.
I'll save my piece later. We'll start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Can I go
Garbage, 4-13. I'm just gonna say they're hot garbage. 4-13. They're horrible.
All right, let's hear it, Andrew.
This is the worst team in the NFL. It will not be the
wow,
Cardinals.
you guys
It
are
will
being
not be the
hard.
Cardinals.
I
They
don't
will
agree
both
with
be
that.
fighting at the end of the season to see who can lose more games. And
I
they
mean, I
will-
hope they're the worst team because I think they deserve a good quarterback.
That'd be cool
like
to see Caleb Williams there.
they are going to lose week 13 through week 18. And I think they're going to tank. And one at
A lot of teams
Arizona
could do
or
that.
Tampa will get Drake May or Caleb Love.
It's fair.
What did you say was the
Caleb
record
Williams.
again?
3-14.
3 and 4.
I think they will be hands down the worst team. I think that
think that's
defense
fair.
is depleted. You're going to start seeing them try to get rid of someone like Chris Godwin or Mike Evans halfway through. I mean, I think they're gonna do what they can to get that pick.
I think they'll. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not disagreeing with you. All right.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Bucks.
The
This hurts.
insider has information.
This hurts me because I was a flag runner and I was a former employee of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was on their team, you know.
I
I was one of the guys.
But ever since I left, the team has just gone to shambles and has not been playing as good. They haven't even been playing good. So I get it. I got a lot of pep in the step and I hype them up a lot. So I am livid because my boy Kyle Trask just does not get a shot. That's my boy. I'm a Gator fan. I'm not going to be an actual realist here. Or I'm just being a realist. He probably doesn't deserve it. I mean, he might be struggling, but I like him a lot. He played really good. I just wish we could see him actually get an attempt to try to win some games with the Bucs. Baker, I get it. They had to start Baker. I think bringing him in and not starting him would have been a big mistake. But so I'm hoping they do bad. I hope they do bad. I hope Trask can come in. So I have them 3-14 as well. I have them just not winning a lot of games. You know what? Let's have them lose 14 games with Baker. They come in, Trask comes in, wins 3 in a row, gets the starting nod. Let's go. That's how it's going down. So
well, I think you said
and
yourself
then they'll
though.
still take a quarterback.
No, they would not.
You just said
he was
just said
under
yourself.
Brady.
The missing piece is you. So maybe you
I
need to
know.
get rehired.
I know. I'm telling you. Well, if Trask, listen, mark my words. If Trask is starting quarterback next year, I will be a flag runner for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, I actually really
so
want
yeah.
them to tank and get Drake May, and I will have a Drake May jersey.
That's true. You'll probably get season tickets, but
I wouldn't get
Drake
season
May
tickets.
over Caleb Williams.
he's a homer. He's a homer. He loves Drake May. He loves North Carolina boys.
I know he does.
I do love my Carolina boys, but I do. That one's close. That one is close. I think it depends on what kind of quarterback you want.
So yeah. 3-14, they're going to be third worst in the NFL, so they won't actually get the chance to get their quarterback unless they trade up. Just saying, but yeah. So maybe Trask has a shot.
I got them at 4-13. I think that there's still enough talent on that defense for them to steal like 1 or 2 more games than they probably should. But yeah, no, their inability to run the ball at all last year, I don't really see that getting much better. I mean, maybe Rachaad White has a decent year, but like they've lost a couple of key pieces on the offensive line over the last couple of years, and I don't think they've necessarily resolved that issue. They're not a good team. Like the only reason they made the playoff was because Brady was throwing the ball 43 times per game. 43, like literally like his age.
It just seems like I'm the little ray of sunshine here. I'm going 6-11 for the Buccaneers.
Jesus,
they still got a good defense. They still got a good defense. Yes, it's gonna be a struggle for them to score many points, but as someone said earlier, if you pitch a shutout, you don't gotta do too much to win the game. So
they also got Todd Bowles as their head coach. That was like the worst decision they ever made. Todd Bowles being appointed the head coach over Byron Leftwich. Dumb.
I mean, they both did not have a good year last year, so it's kind of toss up. But yes, running game is going to be the big struggle for them. Decent offensive line. They also do not have a great tight end. I guess they haven't had one in a while, but they had Gronk, but
K-Don, baby.
K-Don, and then it's Kokeef.
Yeah, Kokeef.
And that's it. So like they could definitely make a quarterback switch though halfway through the year. I would not be surprised at all.
Let's make it happen.
All right.
Get Jarrett his job back.
Please. I think during my job I gave Antonio Brown COVID. I can't remember if I told you that story yet, but
That's hilarious.
I like to think that it was me that
sick.
gave him it. Yeah, I'll tell you the story sometime. It's actually funny, and I'm almost positive I gave him COVID.
That's sick.
Anyway.
All right. Dirty Birds and Atlanta Falcons, 6-11. I'm pretty sure that's about what they finished last year. Yeah, I mean, they picked up some good pieces on defense, but their quarterback situation is scary, and I don't think Bijan can do enough for them to be that good.
I have them winning the division at 9-8. I actually, and that says something that 9-8 is going to win this division, but
yeah,
I agree. I don't know if I'm sold on Ritter quite yet, to be honest. But when I don't know, you just look at their team. I mean, yeah, Baker, not great quarterbacks in here. They're decent, but they have some good young weapons. I think Bijan, Drake London's proven that he's going to be pretty good, I think. I still am sold on Pitts being good. They just need to work on that. Start going to Pitts more often. Dang it, he's a weapon. But yeah, they did improve on defense, so I think their offense will be good enough. I think Bijan will be a stud. I still was a little bit confused because I thought Tyler Algier did really good last year. So I don't know. Maybe they'll incorporate something with those two guys.
Cordell's getting lost in the mix, man.
I know Cordell's getting old, man. He's getting up there.
He
but
is.
yeah, I don't know. I think they have a little bit of experience playing together now. And yeah, if the defense is able to get any better, I just think there's a lot of question marks in all of this division right now of just new players, and I just think the Falcons maybe are the most settled. So I'm gonna go with the Falcons, 9-8.
I think that I got 5-12. Maybe if they scrape one by the Bucks in week 7. But just looking at their schedule, like it's not easy. I mean, Green Bay is better than they are. They've got Detroit and Jacksonville and Washington. They've got Derrick Henry. They got the Vikings, the Jets. I think the Colts will beat them. I think the Bears are going to be a better team than them.
Now you're just mentioning teams that.
No, I'm just saying, like, no, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I think the best they go is 5-12.
Okay.
I don't think Desmond Ridder is an answer.
Am I the only high one on the Falcons here to win this?
I just think,
boys, I need some help.
I just think as a whole, everyone except for the Saints and Panthers are worse this year than last year.
Oh yeah.
I feel radically different than you do on the Falcons.
Really?
I got 10-7.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Have they taken it down?
Yeah. So you said, the Packers are better than them. Well, Desmond Ritter's already shown more in the NFL than Jordan Love has. So I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to make some progress this year. But more importantly, it's really damn hard for him to miss his targets. They're gigantic.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be super accurate. They were the best run blocking team in the NFL last year. And they added Bijan. And I think they're just going to do more of the same with that. They're going to still use Tyler Algier. And they're also going to add in Bijan. So offensively, they're still going to put up points. They put up points last year. Like, they were good in that category. The thing that really sold it for me, signing Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
You got a young quarterback that's going to make some mistakes. The best way to help him out, get him the ball back.
I went more on the low end. I went 6-11. Just like, it's hard to trust a second-year rookie now. Desmond Ridder, or guess not second-year rookie, but yeah, second-year guy, coming out of Cincinnati. So he wasn't playing the highest competition, and then like he obviously got slaughtered in that game, in the CFP game. But like I do like what they're building down there. When me and Jack did the mock draft earlier this year, I was hoping that they were going to go Quentin Johnston for wide receiver, so that because Drake London is kind of like that route runner dude, and you just send the ball deep to Quentin Johnston over the top. But Bijan is a good piece too. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they run their offense. So then I like Okuda and AJ Terrell on the outside. They could use better linebackers, but hey, they also picked up Calais Campbell, who's going to stop the run. Baby. So they're trying to plug their holes. I just don't think it's going to be enough yet. So yeah, 6-11.
I think the bar is pretty low in this division, though, for them
Yes.
to get some victories. So.
100%.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Move on to the New Orleans Saints. I got them going 9-8. I think this team always has a very talented defense, and I think people are overlooking the fact that they added Derek Carr. I mean, definitely an improvement over Andy Dalton. Olave is going to take a step compared to last year. And if Mike Thomas plays, that's even a bigger plus. But I just think that their schedule is way too easy. I think they're going to take advantage of their rough year last year and take advantage of their schedule, go 9-8 and win the division.
Yeah, I'm
7-10.
Yeah, I have 7 and 10 as well. 7 and 10. I don't think they're gonna change much. Carr it's a good addition. I think Carr is good. He's not great. It's not like he's drastically improving offense, but I think he definitely is an addition to Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, baby. But yeah, they haven't really done much. It'll be interesting to see with the whole, Kamara suspended. And so I don't know. I don't really know much, to be honest. Michael Thomas, what the hell? He'll probably break something again. He'll die on the field as well. Who knows? But if he can stay healthy and he's somewhat of what he used to be, I know like fantasy, he's like one of those guys that like, where the hell do I draft him? I have no idea. They have a lot of unknowns, but 7 and 10. I think they're just going to be right around to where they played last year.
I mean, that 7 and 10, I think he pretty much said it best. I don't think you guys understand like the Saints.
Carolina Panthers fan, and
but in all honesty, but even like last year, I mean, the Saints, they tank. I mean, I don't care if you got Derek Carr or not. You don't have Drew Brees anymore. You're not that same thing. They're still rebuilding. I don't know if they'll ever be the Saints that when you couldn't walk into the Superdome expecting to come out with a win. They're really not that good. Michael Thomas isn't really going to play. They were getting weren't they getting Jimmy Graham back?
Yeah, they have him.
But he's
gone now.
Yeah.
He's gone. They
cut him?
Did y'all not see the whole thing about him getting arrested?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah.
They cut him.
I didn't think he was going to be a big part of it.
And like Michael Thomas isn't going to play, and Alvin Kamara suspended. It's just not going to be. They're just not going to be that good. So yeah, 7. I do think they're probably the second best team in that division, but it's not like I think the Panthers are really much better. But I do think, I'll let everyone talk. But
yeah, what do you got, Matt?
I'm gonna go 9 and 8. I mean, the quarterback upgrade, clear, obvious. Like, don't need to go too much in depth on that, but I think it's easy for people to forget how good that defense is, and very consistently.
Yeah,
and as long as Cam Jordan is there, I'm expecting it to be good.
I also have them going 9-8. I don't know why people like to hate on Derek Carr so much. Like, he's just kind of average, but he's still an upgrade over what they had. You add one of, if not the most likable guy in the entire league in Jamal Williams to get those 1-yard touchdowns. Olave is going to be good. That defense is just super solid every year. The Saints, again, kind of like the Patriots and the Steelers, they always just kind of find a way to hang around 500, even if they don't have the most talented roster.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. And to finish off the NFC South, Panthers, I got them going 7 and 10. I think they have a talented roster, but I think they'll struggle a little bit with Bryce Young.
Yeah,
and their wide receiver core is garbage.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it's better than what it was last year. Outside of DJ,
the low bar.
Adam Thielen's bad.
But he brings the experience. I don't think Adam Thielen's bad. I just don't think
Thielen cannot run like he used to. He's still a good route runner, but he's Mr. Reliable that he can catch the ball if it's Adam, but he's not breaking away from anybody at this point. He can run a good route, but He's just not what he used to be, but he's not bad. He's definitely he was still consistent for us, but I have them 7 and 10 as well. I think just with rookie quarterbacks, it's always just unknown. You just never know. There's always a learning curve usually right away. I do think of all the quarterbacks, I trust Bryce the most. I like him a lot. I just do think that their team all around is just I think Bryce will be good. It's just not like a full complete team at all by any means. I actually have always been high on DJ Moore. I've always thought he's one of the better wide receivers that doesn't really get like a lot of hype, but
he's not there anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean. Like he's gone now, and I think that's going to take a bigger hit than what we think. And he's already showing like Bears fans are just like obsessed with him right now because he's having a good preseason. But but they did get DJ Chark too, which is great. I think he's a good, deep threat guy. They'll be okay on offense, but overall, I mean, 7 and 10, I think that's respectful for a team with a rookie quarterback coming in. I think they're going to be right in the middle of that division. So, yeah. And isn't Reich the coach now? Which I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
I hope that they
Reich is
do him
Reich.
better than what happened in
I know
Indianapolis.
Yeah, same. I don't. He's kind of unknown for me because Indianapolis was such a chaotic man. Why is Indy just seems so chaotic all the time with
Jim
Irsay?
Irsay's an asshole.
Irsay's drunk and just drunk decisions and texting people probably. Yeah, he's just high and cocained out. But 7 and 10 Panthers.
I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna go 8 and 9. I think Bryce will have overall like a good year, but you look at their schedule and it's a bit of a gauntlet to start the year for them. And I think once he comes out of the bye week, they'll start racking up some wins. But rookie quarterback, like it takes a while to learn all the little details that it takes to win in the NFL. And I think the back half of the year, he'll have it all down because he's probably one of the smartest quarterbacks to come out since Joe Burrow. And once he gets it, he's got it. But like, it's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, I have them going 7 and 10. I think, Bryce Young will get it after a little bit. Their defense is still underrated. They got
there's so much talent there.
Yeah, like JC Horn is like top
5
top dude when he's healthy. And then you've got Brian Burns and like Derek Brown. Like you don't hear much about him, but he's still super good. Like young guy. Their wide receiver core. Yeah, their wide receiver core does not do too much for me. I do pick up a nice piece in Hayden Hurst though. I do like that. Pick up Miles Sanders. But they have one guy that no other team has. I think that might propel them to victory. Backup left tackle, Michael Jordan.
Let's go.
Gonna help him win some games. Case and Conwu goes down, he's gonna step right in.
I love
got that
it.
dog in him.
I love it. That's great.
Am I up?
Right.
Yes, you are up.
I have them going 9 and 8, winning the division with the potential of 8 and 9 in that Bears game. They're gonna start 3 and 3 going into the bye week. I think they're gonna win their first 2, then lose 2, then beat the Lions, then lose to the Dolphins. They have improved in every single aspect of the entire field, with the exception of the wide receiver spot. But as a unit, that wide receiver core is better this year than it was last year. And I stand by that. You picked up Von Bell on defense. You got J.C. Horn coming back, who's unstoppable when he's playing. And DeAndre Johnson's not bad either. You picked up DJ Chark, which I think is going to really help you in the slot. I don't know how things are going to go with Jonathan Mingo because he got hurt today. So it's a hamstring. That's all we know. But you do, Miles Sanders averages 5 yards a carry when he gets the ball. He just never got the ball in Philadelphia.
I have a theory about that.
Their line,
The offensive line,
sick.
Yeah, I will tell you right now, that offensive line will be what makes or breaks this Panthers team.
Yeah.
I just don't see them. They went 7-10 last year with starting 5 different quarterbacks. You finally got your guy. Put your money where your mouth is. Like, you're going to have to start. They're going to be a lot more aggressive this year because they're on the verge of the entire fan base turning on them. Because they basically were, and they were like, all right, we really got to get rid of Matt Rule. I think they made the right decision by getting an offensive guy instead of Steve Wilks. I like Wilks, but Steve Wilks is the entire reason we lost to Tampa and didn't go to the playoffs last year. And, well, not entirely. He's the reason we lost to Tampa, and then Joey Sly's the reason we freaking lost to Atlanta. Both of those games, either one of them would have put us in the playoffs. We would have won the division last season.
yeah.
They don't lose to the Saints. It doesn't matter. They just don't. They'll lose one to the Falcons because that's what they do. And I think they'll beat the Bucs both times. I do actually think I was generous enough and gave the Saints a game just because I thought 6-11 might have been too low. I don't think that the Panthers can go 10-7. Their ceiling is 11-6. Their bottom is 7-10, depending on the offensive line. I don't have them winning anything crazy. They have a 1-5 versus winning teams and an 8-3 versus losing. So it's nothing crazy. And then against playoffs teams, I have them going 0-4. But I think that they sneak in and win that division, which is not nearly as like I was pretty drastic last year.
Yeah,
I think
you had them like 10-7.
I did, and that was with that team.
Brandon were dead on the nose, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, y'all had him at like 5-12.
Yeah, somewhere in between there.
But it was closer.
But I mean, I think they're a much better team than last year, and I do think this goes back to my whole why I think 4 teams from the NFC East are going to get in is because I think the others, the only team that's actually going to sneak in the NFC, because I think the NFC is just not good, are the winners of the divisions.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
This division could go a whole lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think the Bucs are the only one that can't win it, but that's me.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Moving on to the NFC North.
Let's go.
The Green Bay Packers. I have them going 6-11. I have them going 6-11. I think they're gonna have some growing pains with Jordan Love. I don't think he's just gonna step in and be good. I am scared because he does look good. I think he's more proven than Desmond Ridder. As Matt said before, I think he's more proven than Desmond Ridder. When he comes in, he's looked good.
Yeah, but you have bad takes.
Yeah. That's gonna be on a shirt. That's gonna be on a shirt. It has to be.
On a shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm worried. It's just the inevitable that he's going to be good. So that's why I just think that. But I think they're still going to have growing pains. I still think that they have some receiver issues. I don't think the receiving core is as good as it could be, and I think they'll struggle a little bit offensively. But yeah, they're not going to be as bad. They won't be as good as last year, but they'll be a little bit worse.
I have them falling hard. And maybe it's just my hatred for the Packers, but I have them 4-13. 4-13. I think losing A-Rod is a big deal. The Packers have done a very good job of, when Favre was leaving, there was a lot of skepticism, and A-Rod came in and he's good. And now it's kind of the same boat where it could very well, he could be good, but I actually think they just lost a lot there. I do. What is his name? Christian Watson. I actually really like him. Watch out for Jayden Reed. He's an MSU guy. I went to Michigan State a little bit, so I got my a spot in my heart for him. But I don't know. This team's kind of a mess. They didn't really do much. They went hard in the draft for tight end. I don't know. They just were all about tight ends in the draft.
A tight end that
that
barely
was
ever
weird.
played too.
Oh yeah, really? Yes. Yeah.
Luke Musgrave played
Musgrave,
10
yes.
games or something like
Yes.
that.
That's so interesting. But I don't know. I just don't see, they didn't really do much in the offseason. They didn't really draft well for me. Again, the tight end thing was kind of weird. I don't know. I fucking hate the Packers. 4-13. 4-13. This is when they're just going down.
I got them 6-11. I mean, there's not much to say about them. They're just not good.
I'm gonna go 5-12. I could definitely go lower based on Jordan Love, but despite how much I hate the Packers, they have good running backs.
I know.
They've been able to run the ball. In fact, like the thing that always made me roll the eyes about the Aaron Rodgers love, especially once why am I blanking? LaFleur came in.
Yeah.
And like he took off, and the MVPs, it's a run-based offense. Mm-hmm. The running game is what was winning them games.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think they're going to be able to protect him to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, quarterbacks win games, right? And I don't think he's going to be able to win very many for them. They do have some talent on defense. I mean, I'm not the biggest Jair Alexander guy, but he's definitely a good corner. I don't think he's elite like people want to say he is. But he's still good. Still a very good corner. And like Rashawn Gary, when he's right and healthy, is a force.
Fuck the Packers.
FTP.
Oh,
man.
It's hard to speak highly of them.
I'm going through it now because you guys went really low and I went 9-8.
Oh, okay.
Their defense is still good enough to win them some games. If like Jordan Love has now had, this is his like 4th year, right? He sat under Rodgers for 3.
Yep.
So like that's I know Rodgers probably didn't take him under his wing as much as he probably wanted him to, but that's still a good guy to watch and learn from. Like I think LaFleur might simplify the offense a little bit for the first couple of games, and then like just say here, Jones and Dylan, here's the ball. You go off with it, and then like I don't know why I put him this high. Like they play the Bears twice. I think they take both the games there because Chicago just can't, like, even though Aaron Rodgers isn't there, they still can't do anything against the Packers. I don't know. I don't know why I got him that high. That's not good justification for why I do, but yeah, 9-8.
I like it. Well, I don't like it. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Bears. We got the Bears going 8-9. I think they made a lot of improvements to the roster. I just think that they're going to tear up their easy schedule this year a little bit. Just because I think that they showed flashes last year. And I'm not buying the Justin Fields hype, but I definitely think that he's going to improve this year more than last year. Not MVP caliber like people think, which is crazy. But I think they'll have an improved year.
Yeah.
5-12. They still got to learn how to win.
I mean, that's fair.
They haven't proven shit, and they were literally the worst team in the league. Like, show me something before I give you respect.
Did you say 5-12?
5-12.
5-12. All right, perfect.
Yeah, I've got 6-11. Definitely still 6-11 is a vast improvement from last year, but I do see a lot of potential in Justin Fields. I do think he can be good. His legs alone for sure. And again, DJ Moore, I love DJ Moore. And I think a guy now that you can kind of toss the ball too quick and have him just run. And there's a lot of like cool RPAs that I think you can do with Justin Fields and just these flashy guys. I'm a big fan. I think it's going to be fun to watch their offense at least. And they did pick up a lot of people through the draft and free agency to really bolster like their defensive line and their corners. So I I think their defense will be better. I think their offense has improved. I do think they're going to just be better than Packers. And then I think they're going to be trouble. I think they're going to be hard to play in the division. I don't think it's going to be an easy win by any means. I think they should be beatable, but they're going to be pesky. I think they're going to be pesky when we play them. So 6-11.
Yeah, I got them 6-11. They could. I mean, if the Chargers get hurt, I think they can win that Chargers game. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, I that'd be the only one I can really see that could put them over that hump. So 6-11.
Yeah, I also have them at 6-11. I do like the moves they've made this offseason, but I'm still not 100% sold on their vision quite yet. Like DJ Moore, good pickup for them. Like even though Chase Claypool isn't all that great, he's still a tall guy you can throw it to. Tremaine Edmonds pickup was good. So yeah, 6-11, another stepping stone for Justin Fields.
Change mine to 7-10.
7-10. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not doing those wings again.
Kind of handled them well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know, like my mouth went numb, and I think the best thing for me was eating those last two at one time. Like it's like
probably.
my breath is still hot, but like I'm just used to it now. So it's like I'm just dreading tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I suppose. All right, moving on to the Motor City Kitties. I got them going 10-7. I think their hype is a little extreme. Not just because I'm a Vikings fan. I think that they still have to prove a little bit. Like Matt said for the Bears, I think they need to prove something. But I definitely think this is an improving roster. They've made some good moves in the offseason, but I kind of need to see it. And speaking of the fact that there's a better team in the division than them, I think that has proven that they can win. I just think that the Lions and that their schedule is, they have some tough games on there, and I think people are giving them a lot of credit for being able to win a lot of those games, and I don't think they're going to win some of those games that people are giving them credit for already. Like, I really hope they get killed week 1, because if they are close, if they play a close game week 1, then the hype will be like, oh shit. I hope they get killed, because then if they get killed, then people will be like, oh no, what the hell happened? It'll be a good sign. But because I think their hype is unwarranted a little bit, but that's just me.
I got 12-5.
Oh,
yeah, I knew it.
Wow.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this team closed out the season really strong. They lost a lot of games early, yes, but that was in large part because they were missing key pieces on their defense due to injury. And boy, could they not stop anyone on defense in the first half of the year. Statistically, in the second half of the year, they were a top 10 defense. Once they actually got those guys back, and they went out and added CJ Gardner-Johnson. I do think the offense takes a little bit of a step back this year, but I think the defense is going to maintain as a top half of the league defense. And if they're a top 10 offense as opposed to a top 5 offense and a top half of the league defense, that usually translates to a lot of wins.
Now you guys got me questioning.
I have 12-5. I actually think that the hype is finally deserved. This is definitely probably ceiling for them. But I think they can do this just with how much the North has changed on the bottom with the Packers and Bears. I think the Lions are good enough now to where they should beat them potentially all 4 times they play those 2 teams. I mean, their main weakness was defense, and they started to get better last year. And the fact that they added Sutton, Gardner, Johnson, Mosley, like they added arguably the best free agents of D-backs in the free agency. So I feel like they're only getting better on defense. So I think people are buying into Campbell. I honestly, you watched Hard Knocks. I mean, dude, he's a coach I would love to have. He's just one of those guys. He's a grit guy. the offense, I think, is going to be the same. They're going to be good. Amon-Ra has proven himself. Jameson Williams just can't seem to get on the damn field with mistakes and injuries. And
that guy's a bust.
I mean, he could end up being a big bust, to be honest. I don't know. I just don't know.
What a waste of it.
Someone just needs to take his phone. Just take his phone.
I'm so glad the Vikings traded with them to get him, because he's turned out to be a fucking idiot.
He's just not smart. Yeah,
I'm gonna laugh so hard when he scores like 3 touchdowns in week 17.
I mean, he scored the 1 touchdown against Vikings. I mean,
yeah, it could happen. I do think it's stupid what he get in trouble for, but it's a rule, and everybody knows the rules. Like, it is dumb. They need to change that shit. That he gets a 6-game suspension, and people that are doing like crimes are doing like a 1-game suspension. So, but yeah, they, wide receivers, I think they're going to be the same though. I mean, they lost Chark, I think, but I think it's Jones back. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, Jones is back. So like, it's nothing big drastic there. And Gibbs is going to be exciting. I think, if he can stay healthy, like they kind of thought the same thing with Swift a little bit, but he was always hurt. So if Gibbs could come in here and just be a beast on, with the running game, and Aiden Hutchinson is one of my favorite defensive players in the league. I think he's just such a hoss. So that D line should be good. I think it's worth the hype. It's a lot to ask for the Lions 12-5, because I always laugh every year when the Lions give me a projection like that. And usually that's just bullshit, and we know that it's not going to happen, but I'm on the train, man. I'm on the train. They're going to be a very pesky team to play. Yeah. So 12-5, I'm with you.
How was Sam Laporta?
They're saying he's playing really good.
Yeah, he's looking
awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome. First thing experience.
Shut the fuck up, Brandon.
He's really good.
If that's the case, dude, I put the Bucks at 2-15 and give me 10-7.
Dude, how many changes are we making to teams here?
Well, now
the Bucks beating
you're literally
Lions?
going game by game with these schedules.
I thought maybe the Bucks might steal one, especially when I was like looking and I was like, okay, they lost TJ Hawkinson, they lost DeAndre Swift. Like, I don't know if they're kind of on a selling thing. And I was looking at some of the replacements, and like, they got David Montgomery now.
Mm-hmm.
And I worry that Amon-Ra St. Brown is gonna. I think teams
so good, man.
Yeah, but I think last year a lot of it was just him getting overlooked. I will say this: I think Jared Goff gets a really bad rap.
Yeah.
He's a point guard.
Yeah, he's not flashy by any means, but he's a really, really good game manager. Like, he's a really good game manager.
Give me 10-7. Yeah, and then give me the Bucks at 2-15. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
God, they are bad.
There we go.
They're going to solidify themselves as the worst team so they can get that first pick. And you know what? With that, my Washington Commanders are no longer in the playoffs.
Oh.
No. Why? Like, they should have been in to begin with.
Yeah.
They're still 9-8. That didn't change.
Love it. All right.
So I have the Lions going 10-7. It's all gonna be if Jared Goff can stay in his 2022 form, because last year was statistically his best season, wasn't it, or one of his best?
It was his best year since like peak Rams era.
Okay, so but like he has a solid team around him. That offensive line gets overlooked at how good they are, like tops in the league. Defense needs to get better. You did lose Vikings legend and helper Mike Hughes this offseason, which hurts my heart because he was nice to play against. But like I liked all the moves they made, like getting better at cornerback and safety. You pick up my guy Jack Campbell and Sam Laporta, both Iowa dudes.
Fuck up.
Jack Campbell's a Dan Campbell dude, and then like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are going to be nice together. So yeah, I think 10-7, I think is very achievable for them.
I like it.
That Brian Branch's name was never brought up. But that's enough
yeah.
fucking Lions dick sucking. This is a Vikings podcast. Andrew, you can start.
You know what? I started to say it earlier when I thought we were already on them. They played with fire way too much last season, like entirely too much. They at one point they had a negative point differential, and they were like
with a negative
10
point
and
differential.
Is that what it was at 13 and 4?
They did.
And that's that right there is why they lost in the playoffs. It's not a playoff team. That is not a team that was built to last. They took a step down. I think the only thing that they might be, I mean, obviously having TJ is going to be really good, and he's going to get some more touches now, especially with Thielen gone. It was still Adam Thielen. Your run game's not going to be as good, which I think can hurt. And in all honesty, I need to see how many night games y'all have. Because
that's such that is literally the dumbest statistic ever.
It's a thing though.
But it's a thing when he was the Commanders. It was a thing when he was with the Commanders.
I think it's
not
still
a thing with the Vikings. It's not.
Jack.
He has a positive record with the Vikings.
He is the new nightmare only.
Death, taxes, and Kirk Cousins playing like shit in prime time.
He is literally like 500 with Vikings.
I don't know. I've won every bet.
Wow, 500. That's
I've won every bet betting against Kirk.
There's quarterbacks that are worse than, or that are considered better than Kirk Cousins, probably that are a worse primetime record since he's joined the Vikings. I guarantee it.
I don't know. I just 10 and 7. I mean, I don't think y'all can. You're not gonna do what you did last year. Like you're just, it's that team last year wasn't good enough to do what they did last year.
I think the team was fucking amazing, but
you have bad takes.
Yeah.
They had a top 5 offense. What do you want them to do?
Yeah, I know.
They had a
bottom
5
defense.
They
play
also had Ed
defense.
Donatel.
I want them to play defense.
Ed Donatel was literally the
It was
worst.
Ed
defensive
Donatel
coordinator.
combined with Patrick Peterson being so old and Shandon Sullivan and everybody else.
If it makes you feel any better, I got you going 3-5 against playoff teams, which is more than you won against playoff teams last year.
That's fine. Bro, I got him going 3. I don't even got him going 3-5 against playoff teams, so it doesn't even matter.
What do you got, Matt?
I'm gonna go 10 and 7. Ironically, I think you guys are a better team this year.
That's facts.
Yeah. I actually really like the Byron Murphy pickup. I mean, I actually hate it, but it's good for you guys. but yeah, I mean, you guys give us a good run, but even when we sucked, like we were playing you guys pretty tight. So I feel like we're gonna get, even if we do end up like with tied records, we might end up having that tiebreaker of sweeping you guys.
Matt, who do you
just
like?
match up well? I'm a Lions fan. Metro Detroit born and raised.
Well, to I have them beating you both times, but still going 10 and 7.
Well, I don't think that's happened in quite a while.
All right.
I love that.
All right, Jarrett, do you want to go next or do you want me to?
Yeah, bring it. All right. So I love the fact that we tend to hit very well in the draft with wide receivers. I love the Jordan Addison pick. I think, again, Thielen was kind of on that decline where we could, as fans, he still played okay. He'd get a touchdown. He'd have, a couple big catches, but you could just tell he was like missing that step. So I thought there was a chance that KJ would just kind of hop into that second spot, but man, I love KJ Osborne. I think our weapons on offense are the same. I honestly, even without Dalvin Cook was a talent, but Madison has always come in and proven himself at each and every time. So I don't think we're losing much with losing Dalvin. It still sucks. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to like impact us by any means as far as our offense goes. Kirk will do his thing. Our offensive line is basically, I think, the same. So I actually love our offense. I think we're going to do the same. We're going to stack points, and we should be, second year with O'Connell now. So I think, last year you kind of listened to that quarterback show, and it's funny to just listen to Kirk, how there were just often times where he's like, dude, I had times where I just didn't even know like what plays we were running, and he had like a limited playbook. So Kirk's smart enough now to have that full playbook in hand, and I think our offense is going to be good. Defense was a problem. Definitely last year we sucked on defense. Literally our best corners we're like washed up, just like just so bad. And we made Danny Dimes look amazing in the playoffs. And there was just, we lost Za'Darius. That's hard. I liked Za'Darius a lot. I we had some good players, but one thing that I think is just such a game changer for us is Brian Flores. I think just having him on defense, it's a game changer. The dude is just a great defensive coordinator. Head coach, he was actually okay at head coaching, but like as a coordinator, the dude's always a stud. He's considered one of the best D coordinators in the game. I thought I saw something like in the NFL, they voted, and he was like seventh, eighth best or something. So I'm excited to see what he can do with our defense. And it can't get worse. It can't get worse than what we had. And we went 12-4. So I think we did lose. We won a shit ton of one possession games. There was definitely, maybe a little bit of luck in there, especially with the Bills game. That was just one of the wildest games I've ever seen. But this is going to be full on 13-4. 13-4. We're going to improve. I just think our offense is
your record last year was 13-4.
Yeah. I just think our offense is staying exactly the same, maybe even a little bit better, even though we lost Dalvin, because I do think Addison is turning out to be pretty good. And our defense with Flores always improves defenses. So if our defense can just improve just a little bit, I think we're more dangerous than people think. We had a lot of bad games last year that were close, but I still think we were much better than what people give us credit for as Vikings, I guess, fans. But a lot of shit. So, people base it off of the one playoff game, but you have to remember we were scoring a lot of points too. It's just our defense was so fucking bad. So Flores is going to help a lot. I love Kevin O'Connell. I love seeing post games. It looks like players are all on board with him. Man, 13-4.
13-4.
Let's do it again.
All righty. I am actually on the low end of this. I have them going 9-8.
You son of a.
I just don't trust the defense. I know I'm excited for Brian Flores, but man, this secondary is still young. Byron Murphy is the oldest, besides Harrison Smith. Byron Murphy is the oldest dude out there, most experienced, and he's only 25. And if a Caleb Evans, he went down with 2 concussions last year. Who says he's going to stay healthy? And Andrew Booth has not looked good the times he has come in. Harrison Smith, he's still good, but he's lost a step. Jordan Hicks kind of in that same boat. We picked up Marcus Davenport and Dean Lowry to kind of help fill the defensive line. Daniil Hunter, he's guys last year, and he's going to be out of here, it seems like. And then the offensive line is always the iffy question. If someone goes down, who's the next guy up? Some of our replacements played pretty decent, but I don't trust them if one of our main guys goes down early, or a guy like Darisaw. He's so good, but he gets injured so frequently. I don't trust him to stay healthy the entire year. So our offense is going to be what wins us games, but the defense they just got to keep us in it mostly. That's the thing. Just got to keep us in it. So yeah, 9-8. And I was kind of stuck earlier this offseason. I was like, do we just really want to tank? And since Kirk might be out of here soon, do we want to just tank and go for Caleb Williams or Drake May, or do we just kind of go for it all? And so we're kind of in that in-between phase. I don't like it.
I don't like that you don't have Irv Smith.
Oh, you like Irv Smith?
That dude was just turned into
I picked up Irv Smith during that Miami game.
Oh, that's
you remember that?
I do remember that. I forgot about that.
And of course, that was the day that Mike Gesicki was just going off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty simple. Vikings 12-5. It's pretty much goes like this. Vikings, their offense will be better. I think that's pretty clear. They're another year under Kevin O'Connell. This is the first time Kirk Cousins under the Vikings regime he's ever had back-to-back years with the same offensive play calling. You get a better receiver, wide receiver too with Addison. Running back by committee is the way to go in the NFL these days. Kirk Cousins could very well throw for 5,000 yards this year. The offensive line is together as a unit once again, another year. They're going to be better. The defense will be better. Brian Flores, you saw what he did with Miami. Some of those years they had very little talent. You got Xavier Howard, and that was about it. And they were known to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. You getting younger. Caleb Evans, when he did play, though, he was productive. Byron Murphy is a stud. Lewis Seen has been playing out of his mind in the preseason, probably will make his way into the starting lineup. Defensive line is always normally a strong suit. Just got to apply more pressure. And then our linebackers, Jordan Hicks was a top 10 linebacker last year. We got this stud Ivan Pace, who's just a tank. He's a fucking hard hitter. And you got Brian Asamoah, can fly around the field. He's a little bit unproven, but if he plays as fast as they say he does, then that's going to be good. If this defense plays to like middle of the league, this will be the best team in football, probably, arguably. It's like the offense is that good to where if the defense, they went 13-4 last year, and yes, there was 1-score games, but if the defense was even halfway decent, they would have been the best team in football. And that, like I'm saying, that's like their ceiling. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm saying if the defense plays the way it should under Brian Flores, they will be regarded as a top team in the NFL. And I think that's to like look at the team last year. Their offense is about the same, if not better, and that's the reason why they were good. They should be better on defense. So there's no reason why this team shouldn't be able to get back to that 13-4 mark. I just don't think that I don't think the schedule makes it easy enough for them to do that. But I think that 12-5 is very easily attainable. I don't see why not.
Agreed.
So I don't know. I feel good about this team again, like last year. I felt good about them last year. I feel even better about them this year. If we had Ed Donatel, I would literally think this team would go like 8-9. But because we have Brian Flores, it's a way different story. And yeah, this team, I think they win the division again. I think the Lions are still another year away, and then we'll see what the Lions can do. But I think the Vikings have what it takes, and they don't play a lot of tough teams. I don't think they're going to beat like the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bengals, or the who was the other team? One of the teams. Oh, the 49ers. I don't think they'll beat any of those teams or anything like that. I mean, they might sneak one out and then they might lose to a bad team, but I don't know. They don't really lose at home. But yeah, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think this team could be really good again.
I'm with you.
Oh, Matt was shaking his head the entire time.
Yeah, Matt's laughing.
It was more just the fervor that you had along with it. I'm like, man, this man is fully drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
and
I'm all
it's just
about it.
it's beautiful.
But there's no Kool-Aid because no one talks
Kool-Aid's
about the
been
Vikings.
drank. We went 13-4 last.
No one talks about the Vikings, so no one talks about the fact that they brought in Brian Flores. Everyone wants to talk about the Lions, even though they didn't win the division last year. I'm not drinking any Kool-Aid. If anything, Lions fans are drinking Kool-Aid. The fact that they get talked about so much. No one's riding up and down on the Vikings dicks like the Lions. I mean, it's just the facts.
Vikings have just been shit on.
Yeah, the Vikings literally get
not as good.
Mean, when you have the statistical anomaly of the one score wins
I
you guys
agree.
have, you really can't say like, oh well, there's
I
just
do
a
agree with
little
that.
bit
But the
of
fact
luck.
that
that's a lot of luck.
But the thing is a lot of those games, if you watch those games, we actually like won those games. It wasn't luck. The one game that you probably could say was luck is the Bills game, and we still got fucked. It should have never gone into overtime anyways.
Exactly.
Gabe Davis literally fucked. If anything, we were lucky. It was lucky for the Bills to go into overtime that game. If you watch some of those one-score games, a lot of times the defense somehow made a play or the offense put a game-winning drive together. Like most of those one-score games that people constantly freak out about were actually like wins, and we came back and won. Or
And
I don't know,
NFL
man. The Lions week 3 kind of blew it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, we
Yeah.
literally handed
that
the
one
team.
that might have been the
But
one
that's-
game.
But the NFL is full of one possession games.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm
like
saying.
it's not a rare thing. I mean, most teams have a ton of one possession games, and
But
you
it's
can
not-
look at
it's never-
any
it's
game
never
and
that
say it's this
lopsided.
play, it's this play, it's this play. That's how games go. That's how you win games, is you come clutch in that play. And so I agree. It'd be very rare to have that record in one possession games again. I agree.
Yeah, I don't
with
think that's going to
100%.
happen.
It
I
won't
also-
happen. We're not going to be that lucky again.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's all like we should have been 4 and 5 in
Yeah.
those games. Like, no, we earned a lot of those wins. It's just, yes, we did come out on the right side with Bills, Lions. It was very close and odd, but like you can do that with so many games. You could have a 2 possession game and say, well, if it wasn't for this pick or this weird fumble, like that's a thing. That's part of the game. It's those plays. So
and the fact that we
I don't know.
got
I
credit
agree.
for any
We
of those-
probably are high on them right now. I understand.
We never got
That's-
credit.
it's
We never
definitely
got
true.
credit. We never got credit for winning those games. A win is a win, and we never
Yeah.
got credit for actually winning those games. It was just like, because the thing is, yes, I thought we were frauds deep down, but the problem is you can't deny the record. You can't deny.
I knew we
that
weren't going far in the playoffs
because
like,
of the
I knew it
defense.
was just like
the defense was inevitable. I thought we were going to beat the Giants because the Giants are hot garbage, and we made them look amazing.
Exactly.
But I didn't think we were going to win after that. Like I'd be a fool of myself.
Yeah,
But it's just the fact that the media bias is crazy.
it's
And
wild.
last year they went 13-4, and they were probably the least talk about 13-4 team ever. It's
Dude,
crazy.
right now, like percentage to make playoffs, like Lions are like 68% and the Vikings are
It's
like
nuts.
51.
It's
And I'm like,
literally nuts.
the jump of just thinking that the Lions are just that much better already, which they're going to be close. It's going to be close. I think Lions.
Like
are
I
very well
literally
and
think the
good.
division is going to come down to week 18. Like I say
Yeah,
that the Lions are going
that'd
to
be
finish
fun.
2 games behind us, but that's just because I look at the schedule.
It'll
But
be fun.
realistically,
Yeah.
it's going to be week 18, and it's going to be Sunday Night Football for the division probably.
Oh, those tickets would be nuts. That'd be fun.
I know. I've already thought about like trying to get tickets before
Just get them
the
now
season
before it's,
starts,
like, actually
before
mean-
it's yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, not
I
bad.
don't know.
Yeah.
But there you go.
It's tough.
I know.
The problem is like I'm like that. Like people call me crazy, but I'm more of a realist. Like I will point it
Yeah,
out as
same.
it is. Like dude, it's Brandon. You fucking are literally not.
I
realist.
am. You can ask me, like Florida Gators this year. Most people, I'm like, dude, we're gonna be bad. I already know that we're gonna be bad. And even last year, I said Vikings with new head coach. We're probably gonna go, around 500 or something. Like I am very much a realist, and this was me actually looking through schedule and being real that I think a lot of these games, because a lot of our home games are like the good teams we play are home, and like I could go through this and just easily explain why I think they would win, but we don't need to do that. But
No, it's
Yeah. No,
I don't know.
If it wasn't
They're-
for last
they're-
year, I would never have said that they're going to win 12 games.
right.
Last
Yeah.
year made it so because the offense is just that good. Offense
Again,
is literally,
Yeah.
There are people out there who are like, oh, they're frauds. I think they're gonna be like a 7 or 8
they're
win
gonna be-
team. I'm like, they're still a good team.
they have way too many
just-
winnable
they're-
games.
th-
We have
we-
way too many winnable games. To where they
Regression
aren't.
to the mean, I think, obviously is to be expected. And
Right.
And I
that's-
think
Yeah.
I
that's
think
where that
it's gonna
10
be
and
hard for them
7
to get
comes
to
in
13.
for me.
Agreed.
But like,
And I think
there's
10-7
still
is
gonna be-
very possible.
Yeah.
Like that's not like I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that sucks.
most
I just-
playoff teams were 10 and 7 ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take
So-
10-7 if it means
No,
playoffs. Sure, I'll
if
take it
they
all
went
day.
10-7, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they're
I'd
a
be
better
happy.
football team than that.
I do too.
Is the pro. That's the thing.
I do too.
But
There you
time will
go.
tell. All right, well,
We did it.
Andrew, how are we feeling?
I'm just waiting on it now. I'm just waiting on the pain.
Blow it up.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see who has to eat the wins after the season.
Same time next
Um,
year.
I'm fucking scared. Not gonna
Let's
lie.
go. I'm so ready.
I'm always scared. I'm not gonna lie. But
I mean, the way I look at it is like it's a win-win. Either I don't have to do it, or I screwed over my best friend and I get to enjoy his pain.
Like,
so
you cut it down to 5 a person, so you're statistically taking off 1 from Andrew. But yes.
Yeah, I had to do it last year when it was 3 of us.
Wait, do you guys have Super Bowl?
I did not do my Super Bowl.
Okay. I didn't know if we were going that far.
I did.
Nah. I haven't really thought that through.
Chiefs, Vikings, Chiefs win.
Yeah.
Chiefs shit all over us in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then I hate Mahomes. That's gonna be my I hate Mahomes now, is when he just poops all over us.
Jets, Vikings, Aaron Rodgers takes out the Vikings in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that would hurt. That would hurt a lot.
I would be pissed.
Good thing he's not in the playoffs.
Pissed.
Yeah.
And no, Dalvin Cook would run for like 300 yards.
Oh,
get like 5 touchdowns.
That would be awesome.
That would be
Tyler
the ultimate.
Conklin
Just
as well.
You would see headlines: Orlando man jumps off bridge.
Yeah.
Florida man does it again.
Florida man does. Oh.
All right.
All right. Good times. Good times. I love it. I can't wait to see how it goes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It's going to do it for us here at Certified Beef. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
See you next time.
Peace.